Tonight, the Cardinals are in Montreal. Again, the roof is on Olympic Stadium. It's Game 3 of a 4-game series between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Montreal Expos. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the great indoors north of the border. I'm Ken Wilson. Al Roboski is here. And tonight, it is Mark Langston night here in Canada. The 28-year-old left-hander ready to go for Buck Rogers Expos. The first game of this 4-game series was played Monday night. The Cardinals won it by a run. Last night, Game 2, and the Expos won it by a run. The two teams conclude the series here tomorrow. But everyone is watching Mark Langston. He's making his third start with the Expos since being obtained in a trade from the Seattle Mariners. The 28-year-old left-hander already has a victory. His two starts, both on the road, have been outstanding. In fact, the Expos have really turned it around since they obtained Langston. Montreal 8-3 since the trade with the Mariners. Let's find out more about number 12 in a Montreal uniform, Mark Langston, and go to Al Roboski.
Mark Langston coming to Montreal. It's in one of the clubs that you said you would not sign with. Has that changed?
It was just one of the clubs that at the beginning when all the trade rumors are going, they said give them a list of clubs that I wanted to go. If they were going to make a trade that I'd go to, and Montreal just wasn't on the list. I'm happy to be part of this club now. I feel that, they're in the pennant race, and that's what you play the game for.
Mark, it is a very good ball club, and that could have a bearing if this club is able to win.
Definitely. I think this is a very good ball club before I even got here, and I just want to keep the ball rolling for them and keep it going forward.
How about if you do elect to go to free agency, would you entertain an offer from St. Louis?
I'll have to wait until this winter. Right now, it's tough enough to go out there on the mound and try to do your job, let alone worry about outside distractions. To be able to go out there and throw strikes and keep the ball club in the game is my most important thing, and I'm putting all my focus on that.
Since we have not seen you as a pitcher, can you describe yourself?
I'm basically a power pitcher, come right at guys, and I have 4 pitches, and hopefully all 4 of them work for me. That's what I'm hoping for tomorrow night.
All right, well, we appreciate your time because we understand we're going to see quite a pitcher. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much.
For a nice cold bud?
And where does she come from?
Entertain me, St. Louis. Give me some romance. Do a little bird watching. Show me the sights. Wake up to St. Louis, the gateway to the west. That's true. The city by the river that'll surely deliver for anything that you want to do. Wake up to Missouri.
Rascals, bite-sized chewy candies.
I'm telling you, red and green and blue.
Intense fruit flavors.
You ever seen anything like them on Earth? There's just so many of them.
Rascals, get them before they get you.
Save on Tombstone frozen pizzas this week at Eagle. 12-inch Tombstone pizzas in your choice of sausage, hamburger, pepperoni, or cheese are 2 for $5. Tombstone double-top pizzas with 3 cheese, hamburger, sausage, or pepperoni toppings are just $3.99. And Tombstone sausage, combo, or deluxe microwave pizzas are 3 for $4.98. It's time to stock up on Tombstone pizza now at Eagle.
To find the best price on this technology, use our technology. Illinois Bell's Ameritech Pages Plus, published by Donnelly Directory. Shop here and shop smart.
We're just about set to go here at Olympic Stadium. And this crowd roaring because Mark Langston is in the center of the diamond. The spotlight truly on this young Californian.
Well, this young man right here might put him over the top. They have a very good ball club, and right now, he is the guy that they really believe is capable of bringing them the National League East. He is a big strikeout pitcher.
He's getting a standing ovation as he appears for the first time here in Montreal. Al mentioning he's a strikeout pitcher. He's comfortable in Canada. His all-time strikeout high in a single game occurred in Toronto when he struck out 16 Blue Jays last season. The outfield for the Expos, Raines, Nixon, and Aldretti. The infield, Wallach, Owen, Foley, Galarraga, Fitzgerald is the catcher. Vince Coleman will lead it off for the Cardinals. Well, this should be an interesting night. The spotlight on Langston. He has stolen the headlines without even throwing a pitch here. And the Cardinals are going to try to steal the headline themselves. Coleman hitting .293, and he fouls it back, 1 strike. Langston, 28, born in San Diego, but grew up in Santa Clara. Played baseball and soccer there in high school, and then went on to San Jose State. Pitched there for 3 years. After his junior season in '81, he signed with the Seattle Mariners. Got to the big leagues in '84, and there is his record in terms of ERA from '85 through '89.
And that's pitching in a very poor ballpark for a pitcher. A home run hitter's paradise, the Seattle Kingdom.
That 3.13 ERA for this year includes statistics from the American League and his 2 starts in this league. And he quickly has 2 strikes on Coleman.
And I think the most impressive thing about Langston is the fact that he has a 75 and 67 lifetime mark while pitching for a club, Seattle, that's never reached the 500 plateau.
Here's the 2-strike pitch. Ooh, just missed it. 1 and 2.
No, he didn't.
The plate umpire is Charlie Relaford. And we mentioned that just in case you want to question a call. Strikeout leaders. You see De Leon and Langston. And there is strikeout number 1 for Mark Langston. And they haven't had this much noise here at Olympic Stadium in a long time. Coleman, Smith, Guerrero, Brunanski, Pendleton, Oquendo, Thompson, Pena, and Hill for Whitey Herzog. Well, they've got it for the doctor, Dwight Gooden at Shea. Now they have it for Mark Langston here at Olympic Stadium.
And, of course, Langston has led the American League in strikeouts 3 of the last 5 years.
Ozzie hitting .254, a home run, 18 RBIs. He looks at ball 1. Ozzie has been cool with a bat lately, and I'm sure you note he's back in a more familiar number 2 spot rather than hitting 3rd. But he's only 3 for his last 23. 2-0. The Expos, of course, have been winning a lot lately. The Cardinals just the other side of the coin. They're straight away on Smith. And it's 3-0. Montreal has won 4 of 5, 7 of 9, 10 of their last 13. They're a game and a half behind the Cubs, who lost today. Ozzie draws a walk. Coleman strikes out. Smith walks. We went to Buck Rogers, the skipper of the Expos, and said, Buck, tell us about your new pitcher, Mark Langston.
Mark Langston gave this ball club an instant uplift. He also gave the pitchers, to a man, the starting pitching staff, a new standard to perform by. My biggest surprise was when Mark Langston went in the 8th inning in Philadelphia, loaded the bases, struck the side out, and showed me the kind of heart that he's got. He's not a statistical pitcher. He's a guy that goes out there and pitches on guts.
Smith goes, and he gets a huge jump and steals his 8th base. And that's stolen base number 51 for the Cardinals as Guerrero takes ball 1.
Langston has a very high leg kick, but they say he has a very good pickoff move also.
Pete is hitting .311. That's the 7th best batting average in the league. He's having a banner year. And a chance to pick up another RBI. He pounds one to short. Ozzie moves up. Owen to Galarraga, 2 down. And the Cards have a runner at 3rd.
Good base running by Ozzie. Adjusting to that ball hit by Guerrero, saw the big hop, not hit exceptionally hard, so he knew he could get on over to third base. Anytime that ball is hit behind you, you take and advance the base.
First inning, Ozzie Smith at third, 2 away, Tom Brunanski, the cleanup hitter. And it is ball 1. Brunanski, the former Twin, against the former Mariner Langston. Tom with 6 homers, 30 RBIs, hitting .225, and in a bit of a tailspin himself. Last couple of days showing some signs of coming out of it, 2-0. By the way, after tonight's game, the Cardinals will be at the 1/3 point of the season. They will have played 54 games of the 162-game schedule. Brunanski trying to bring in Ozzie Smith, rips one, and it is a foul ball. Ooh, that was close, 2-1. Of course, if you take the ball club and look at the pace they have put together in the first third of the season, they're on a pace looking at 75 to 80 wins. As we said, very, very close. So in terms of wins, we're not on quite the pace we'd like to see, but still a long way to go, 2/3 of the season.
And Bruno's been in a little tailspin, like you say, but he's on a 90 RBI season.
Yeah, it's interesting when you get to the 1/3 point, which again will be after tonight. You take Brunanski's totals out. If he goes at the pace he's been at, he'd end up with about 18 homers and 90 RBIs. And if you look at what he did in the American League when he was with Minnesota all those years, he averaged 80 RBIs a year with the Twins.
And remember, he really is a streaky hitter that has not hit a hot streak.
He takes strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the first inning for Mark Langston, and the Cards leave a runner at third. After half an inning, the Cardinals nothing, and the Expos coming up.
Eight years after their first battle, two fighters resume one of boxing's great rivalries. Now they step into the ring again for the long-awaited rematch. This time, the war is on. Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hitman Hearns go to battle on June 12th at Caesar's Palace.
Ladies and gentlemen, Budweiser presents the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
For business or pleasure, on weekdays or weekends, at the Adams Mark Hotel, there's a night with your name on it. Come, share the excitement and stay with us in the heart of downtown St. Louis at the Adams Mark, the Hotel of St. Louis.
The Cardinals leave a runner at third in their half of the first, and now we turn to Ken Hill, a pretty good young pitcher himself, Al.
Yes, he is, and Kenny Hill is 1-0 against these Expos. He won his first Major League start against them. He's pitched very effectively, and the one thing that Kenny always has to guard against is walking too many.
Defensively tonight, Whitey has Coleman, Thompson, and Brunanski in the outfield. The infield, Pendleton, Smith, Oquendo, and Guerrero, and Pena is the catcher. For Montreal, from 1 through 9, Otis Nixon, Tom Foley, Andres Galarraga, Tim Raines, Tim Wally, Mike Aldretti, Mike Fitzgerald, Spike Owen, and Mark Langston.
And as I told you earlier, Kenny Hill beat the Montreal Expos in his first start, April 20th, working 7 innings in that ball game, 1-5-2.
Last night here, over 16,000. Monday night, over 17,000. And the management of the Expos thrilled to see the crowd tonight. They were hoping for between 25 and 30,000 for the Olympic Stadium debut of Mark Langston. Here is Otis Nixon against Ken Hill. Nixon takes strike 1. Nixon hitting .238, no homers, 12 RBIs. To throw the numbers out, he's playing the St. Louis Cardinals. And he always hits the Redbirds. At least he gets on, makes things happen offensively, and that's why we see him so much. When the Cardinals are not playing the Expos, this fella gets a lot of splinters. They have to play very shallow on the infield for Nixon. And it is 2-1. You know, you wonder about Ken Hill, Al, coming into this game. Everyone talking about Mark Langston. He's the spotlight. Hill is just the other pitcher tonight here at Olympic Stadium. He goes 3-1 on Nixon. I wonder if that might sort of pull him to a little higher plateau, saying to himself, shoot, I'm every bit as good as this other guy.
Good point, Kenny, because that's what you hope to happen with a young pitcher is you go out there and you go to that higher level and you say, okay, when I beat Langston, then everyone's going to recognize me as a better pitcher.
Boy, exactly. We're going to talk a lot about Langston because that is the big story. But there could easily be a flip side. There's a hit into the corner off the bat of Nixon. Boy, does that get tiring to watch this guy hit us all the time. He's going to take the turn at second and hold on. Coleman did a good job out in the corner. The corners are rather difficult here in Montreal, with the stands jutting out near the foul lines.
Well, there's no way to defense this. Pendleton has to guard against the bunt, so he's playing in, and then the ball just goes inside the third baseline. Vince gets over here, and then, as you said, Kenny, it kind of caroms around. So Vince did a good job of getting it back into fair territory, allowing the wall to kind of turn the ball back out to the outfield.
Yeah, just to the foul side of the foul poles here, they have a curved wall, which is not something you see in most ballparks. So there's not literally a corner there for the ball to get caught in, and it's treacherous for the fielders. Tom Foley hitting .232, and he's hit the Cards well this season. And he rips one to right center, hanging up. Thompson gets there, makes the catch. Nixon tags. He's on his way to third, and he'll go in easily. And like the Cardinals in the first inning, the Montreal Expos get a runner to third base.
Now it's time for Kenny Hill to really bow his neck and keep that runner at third. Kenny Hill just throwing a fastball, and Foley sending the ball out into right center. Milt Thompson gets over, but deep enough for Nixon in his good running speed to tag up and advance to third.
Andres Galarraga, .242, 8 homers, 35 RBIs. But he is not, I say not, hitting the Cards much this season. And he takes ball one. Whitey has the infield drawn in. Pendleton, Smith, Oquendo, and Guerrero. There's the story on Galarraga. Of course, the big difference, the Cards throwing a lot of right-handers at the Expos this season. And left-handers don't show him pitches like that very often. Wow. 1-1.
Very good slider from Kenny Hill. And once again, we talk about location. Definitely a ball. Watch Pena go out here, backhand the breaking ball.
That's a strike. 1-2. This afternoon at Wrigley, the Mets finally beat the Cubs 10-5. Gooden the winner, Aguilera the save, Sutcliffe was the loser. McReynolds and Johnson homered for New York, McClendon again for Chicago. 1-2. Now 2-2. So with the Cubs losing, their lead in the East is a game and a half over Montreal, 2.5 over third place New York, and 5.5 games over the fourth place Cardinals. And of course, we'll all be heading to Chicago for 4 starting Friday afternoon. Here, there's no score in the first inning. 1 out, Nixon at third, Galarraga the batter, and it's now 3-2. After Galarraga, Tim Raines. The outfield is straight away. Galarraga will go to right a lot, and it remains full. We've mentioned Hill. We've talked about Langston. We've mentioned a little bit about the fact that after tonight's game, the Cards will be at the 1/3 point of the season. We ought to reiterate again that you have to keep in mind the Cards typically don't win in this ballpark. They've had a tough time over the years. 3-2. And Galarraga draws a walk. Runners at first and third. Rafael Landeskog, the coach, talking with Galarraga. Nixon at third, being tutored by Jackie Moore. The Cardinals here the last 3 seasons. 5 wins, 15 losses. Now Hill will be coached by Tony Pena.
Basically coming out, just talking to his young pitcher. Don't worry about it. Set up the double play now. Just go right after Tim Raines. Tough man to double up.
Raines hitting .280. In that April 20th game, he was 2 for 2 with a couple of walks against Ken Hill.
Really was the only man that Kenny Hill had trouble with was Tim Raines.
Ball 1. Raines, by the way, has hit into only 2 double plays all season in 54 games.
And Galarraga, for a big man of 230, can run a little bit. He has 5 stolen bases, been caught twice, so he's just not, you can't take him lightly at first.
Hill in trouble. First and third occupied. 1 out. First inning, no score. 2-0.
Well, you're in trouble when you fall behind the count. That's the one thing the Cardinals realize about Kenny Hill. A young pitcher who's always had a history of control problems. And he is going to have his spurts where he is going to have wildness.
It is 3-0 on Raines. Tim Wallach on deck. Third base umpire Ed Montague. They all agree that Raines had checked his swing. Bill Hone is the second base umpire.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know what it was is Tony wanted the home plate umpire to appeal to Montague, and the home plate umpire refused. It wasn't until I was yelling from the Cardinal dugout. And at that point, then the third base umpire obviously is going to agree with the home plate umpire.
Randy Marsh is the umpire at first. The 3-0 pitch is offered at and fouled. And the plate umpire is a rookie, and I do mean a rookie, Charlie Relaford. Charlie's 32 years of age from Ashland, Kentucky. He is in his first week in the major leagues umpiring. He has been umpiring in the AAA Alliance, the American Association, and the International League. He's not even a vacation umpire. They have a depleted National League crew because of injuries. So he's really been pressed into service. 3-1. Now 3-2. Kenny Hill doing a good job coming back against Raines. Nixon a double, then to third on Foley's flyout. Galarraga a walk, and 3-2 on Tim Raines. There goes Galarraga, and it is fouled off Pena, and he's ouching. Tony really limping.
Just fouled off Tony's back leg, the right foot. So we'll do it again. Runner at first will be running.
Tony appears to be getting the sign from the dugout. Looks like they want to exchange notes. 3-2. Galarraga going again, and it is ball 4, and the bases are loaded with Expos. Back-to-back walks. Galarraga and Raines. Is Hill not challenging? I know he's not getting ahead. What is he not doing, Al? Can you get a good idea so quickly?
Well, Kenny, I think the one thing you made, it looked like you picked up that Tony is getting the signals from the dugout. Sometimes Mike Rourke will call pitches for young pitchers. Sometimes that can be good, sometimes it can be bad, because you have to have, the pitcher has to have a little confidence in what he's throwing out there, and it's kind of hard to shake off the dugout.
269 Wallach's average. 3 homers, 24 RBIs. Bases jammed, 1 out. And it's out of play, 1 strike. Most teams are very touchy about the subject of pitches being called from the dugout by a pitching coach and/or a manager. Catchers are very touchy about it also. And I know the Cardinals would just as soon really not ever talk about it or mention it. And I typically wouldn't mention it or pay any attention to it, but that time the Pena was going to stop and go over and ask for what the sign really was. He spent so much time looking. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Nice block by Tony Pena. Still does not know where the ball is, but the ball is right in front of home plate, so Nixon had to freeze it at third. This is the difference of using your body instead of just your glove. He misses the glove, but it hits him in the chest protection. He has no idea where the ball is, but it's right in front of home plate, right behind home plate, between Tony and home plate. So the runner could not advance.
Wallach, of course, is a home run hitter. He's been very successful this season, 340 with men in scoring position. Oh, he is not to be taken lightly. Bases loaded, 1 out. First inning, no score. Hammered to Pendleton, on to Oquendo, 1 out. To first to Guerrero, and they get the double play. Boy, take a deep sigh. And let's go to the second inning in Montreal. No score.
An important message for you, Minnicky. I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler. You fool.
See, good news. I predict I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler.
Don't worry. At Meineke, you get quality Everlast mufflers from just $18.93 installed.
This is what I've been saying, you idiot. What? I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler. It's better.
You're not going to pay a lot for quality at Meineke.
They're coming. They're wild. They're rascally. Rascals, bite-sized chewy candies.
I'm telling you, they were red and green and purple and blue.
Intense fruit flavors.
Never seen anything like them on Earth.
Coming in incredible numbers.
There's just so many of them!
Thought it would never end. Rascals.
I think they're kind of sweet.
Get them before they get you.
It seems in the Quad Cities, if you want to hear the music you like, you can do one of 2 things. You can either play it yourself, or you can dial 99.7 FM, KFMH, playing your rock and roll, rhythm and blues, jazz, reggae, all by request 24 hours a day. If you're tired of the same old thing, give it a twist to 99 Plus KFMH, FM's only alternative.
Each team has an opportunity to score in the first, neither able to. And this one moves to the second inning. And it is welcome to French Canada for Mark Langston.
Well, Mark Langston, excellent. This his third start. You see, he's 1-0, ERA just over 1. He has a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, a very hard slider, a super great changeup, and a slow curve he plays with. He is a great athlete. He fields his position well. He's a Gold Glove winner in the American League, and he can hit. He hadn't swung a bat in 8 years, and he has 2 hits and 7 tries. He has a very high leg kick, but they say he has a very good pickoff move to first.
He delivers to Terry Pendleton, and Terry chops and misses 1 strike. After Pendleton, Oquendo and Thompson. 244 for Terry, 3 homers, 25 RBIs, so you can figure it out if we're at the 1/3 mark of the season. Terry on a pace to come up with 75 ribbies this year. He's gone to lead off the second inning. Over in the American League, there were 2 day games. Oakland at home beat Minnesota 3-2. Kansas City on the road defeated Seattle 9-6. Baltimore and New York has been rained out. So Oakland moves 1/2 game in front of California in the American League West. The Orioles lead Cleveland by 5. Maybe the biggest story in baseball this season. 1 strike on Oquendo. He's hitting .261 with 11 RBIs, the switch hitter, and he's hit for a higher average from this right side. 2 strikes. Langston, as we have pointed out, a power strikeout pitcher, recorded 2 strikeouts in the first inning.
He has that great fastball, but he has all the secondary pitches to change speeds. You know, there's a key ingredient. Buck Rogers alluded to it. The guy is an exceptional athlete, but he has the intestinal fortitude to be a great pitcher.
Breaking pitch, and it was relatively mean, and Oquendo just fortunate to put it into the glove of the right fielder Aldrete, and that's 2 down. Boy, it takes so much to be successful at this level of competition, and it's pretty hard to have all the talent and then not have what it takes inside. And when you have all the talent and everything inside, that's when you start looking at a perennial all-star and maybe a Hall of Famer. And the accolades for Mark Langston are many. 1 strike on Milt Thompson. Thompson hitting .297, 2 homers, 17 RBIs. His presence in the starting lineup means that Willie McGee is not able to play with a sore wrist. Willie is, I guess, Al, we should say, on that sort of day-to-day status as he was with the rib injury earlier in the season. 2 strikes on Thompson.
Well, Milt's really held his own against left-handers this year, but this is a pretty exceptional pitcher. It'll be a good contest for him.
1-2. Milt has hit the Expos well, but you can throw that away. This is not the Expos. This is Mark Langston. 2-2. Milt Thompson has done everything that anyone could ask. Boy, he was always fond of him. Cardinals picking him up in a deal that sent Kurt Ford and Steve Lake to the Phillies, and boy, he's played well. And it's goodbye, sit down. 3 strikeouts for Mark Langston in the first 2 innings, and there's no score in Montreal.
Quad City Downs, fast driving fun, drive home a winner. The new Quad City Downs, a new breed of excitement. There's so much to do and see. Go for the fun of it. You can take the whole family. Quad City Downs.
Friday is Fan Appreciation Night with 25-cent beer and pop and a drawing for a trip to Las Vegas.
There's only one leader in light trucks today. That's Ford. Ford leads in the important advantages that Chevy can't talk about. In standard 6-cylinder engines, Ford beats Chevy in torque power, and nobody beats Ford's V8s in low pulling horsepower. Powerful reasons like this make Ford the leader with the most repeat buyers of any light truck line. Get up to $750 cash bonus on selected '89 Ford F-Series trucks.
There's a motor oil that talks about quality. Always has, always will. Well, Valvoline makes the highest quality motor oil recommended by any automobile manufacturer. Oh yeah, unlike the competition, Valvoline also makes the motor oil used by 7 out of 10 Indy 500 crew chiefs. That's 7 out of 10 crew chiefs every year for the last 10 years. People who know, use Valvoline.
No score here in Montreal. The Cards tonight with Ken Hill, the Boston area native, former Detroit Tiger farmhand, on the mound.
Well, Kenny Hill has a very good arm, but he has the fastball, the slurve, and a forkball. His fastball is 90 miles an hour, but relatively straight. His forkball sinks and has good movement to it, but he must get his off-speed pitches over for his strikes. And these Expos lead the National League in stolen bases, so we'll tell you that he's average to the plate and to first base. He doesn't have a particularly good pickoff move.
In the second, he faces Mike Aldrete, Mike Fitzgerald, and Spike Owen. This fella, Aldrete, the former Giant, has been a mystery. takes a strike. He's gone north of the border and forgotten how to hit. 172. He's 10 for 58. A 285 lifetime hitter. And he always hit well against our ball club when he was with San Francisco. In fact, right under 400. He just looks like a different hitter now.
Well, Kenny, you just look at the last two pitches. When do you take two fastballs in the strike zone? Put yourself in a hole.
1-2. Up the middle, Okendo, the throw, safe. Already is safe at first base. If you were with us last night, you saw quite a performance in the 7th inning by Okendo at second base. Some dazzling plays.
It was a fork ball, and Okendo tries to make the strong throw, but the throw sails to the inside of the bag and pulls Guerrero off the bag. A good call from Randy Marsh. See, Jose gets to the ball, but then tries to make the strong throw, and it just pulls Pedro off the bag.
Yeah, that angle shows that Guerrero was, in fact, off the bag, though the throw beat the batter runner. They are scoring at a hit.
And it should be.
And the batter is Mike Fitzgerald. Cards thinking double play. They got a double play in the first inning with the bases loaded. Wallach hit into a 5-4-3 double play. Fitzgerald hitting .230. Former Met, a couple of homers, 15 RBIs. Two strikes. Fitzgerald came up in '83 with New York. And in his very first plate appearance, he hit a home run. It was at Veterans Stadium in May of '83 against Tony Gelfi. And at that time, he was only the 48th player in the history of the game to hit a home run in his first plate appearance, so it doesn't happen that often. 1-2. Fitzgerald hadn't hit that many home runs since either.
A little bit of a guess hitter, fastball hitter. Unlike his extra base hit down in the right field corner, it seems like most of the time when he hits the ball with authority, he pulls the ball to left.
A ball, two strikes. Fitzgerald in his big league career has hit only 24 homers going back to his debut in '83. Cardinals trying to turn it around. They've dropped 7 of the last 9. Hopes were picked up with a 5-4 win here Monday night, but then a 3-2 setback last night. Pendleton, maybe 2, on to Okendo. That's 1 over to first. Another double play. Both started by Terry Pendleton.
It pulls the ball on the ground right to Terry. Makes a strong throw to Okendo. Where he hit him right square in the chest. Perfect throw for the second baseman. Anytime you have that second baseman or shortstop covering, you want to make sure that ball's right up there in their chest area.
Here is switch hitting Spike Owen. Like Langston, who's on deck, a former Mariner. Spike went on to the Red Sox and is in his first season in the National League. Spike out of the University of Texas, hitting .223. 3 home runs and 18 RBIs. He is a better hitter from the right side than he is from this side. 2-0. Langston is on deck, as we mentioned.
Yeah, it's something I've never seen looking at Langston, the on-deck circle, Kenny.
Got that arm wrapped up. We heard he did that. It's really unusual to see him out of the dugout with the arm wrapped in that on-deck circle. 2-2 is the count on Owen.
Now, I've never seen anyone, it's a hot towel, moist towel that he wraps his left pitching arm in. Never seen that before.
Plenty of time. And that'll do it. 2 innings have gone by at Olympic Stadium, and there's no score.
Whether they got their hits years ago or just last year, all your favorite baseball players are at ABC Collectibles. With over 1 million cards, you'll find ball players you never heard of before. But there's more, like superheroes of all kinds. Batman, Superman, and the X-Men. Original issues of your favorite comic books dating back over 50 years. Plus, ABC Collectibles has a music record collection of over 20,000 used albums and 45s. From heroes to villains to pop stars, they all can be found at ABC Collectibles in Moline.
Ice cream's only ice cream until Nestle tops it. Tops it for candy tops.
New Nestle Candy Tops. Nestle candy bars turned into luscious toppings like milk chocolate with almonds, Alpine White, even Nestle Crunch.
Scrumptious.
And microwavable candy tops are made with real Nestle chocolate.
Can't top that. Ice cream's only ice cream until Nestle tops it. Tops it for candy tops.
Usually, you don't have to guess that something's wrong with your car. You may not know the specific problem, but that's no reason to put your car in the hands of a guesswork repair shop, where you find yourself coming back again and again.
Come into Ace Muffler in Rock Island for a fast, accurate analysis and a fast, thorough repair job. We get it right the first time.
Ace Muffler Clinic, 1429 4th Avenue, Rock Island, for all your car repair needs.
Keep your Budweiser cold and frosty this summer by attending Can Cooler Night. It's coming up on Friday the 16th. The Cards and Budweiser teaming up again this summer to bring the first 35,000 of you 21 and over with a paid admission this free red vinyl can cooler. This year's cooler features that new design, so mark your calendar and be with us for Budweiser Can Cooler Night. That's at the ballpark June 16th. Ken Wilson, Al Raboski, Bob Gibson will be joining us going to the third. No score here at Olympic Stadium. Mark Langston has already struck out 3. In the third, he'll face Pena, Hill, and Coleman. Tomorrow, the game will begin at 4 o'clock St. Louis time. No television. Tony Pena batting .234, a couple of homers and 10 RBIs. Scott Terry in the wrap-up game here against the former Phil Kevin Gross, and then it's on to Chicago. The defense spreads out on Tony, who's done a good job against the lefties. He pops this one up near the stands in foul ground and out of the reach of Galarraga.
When you say he's hitting well against left-handers, it means there's a flip side of it. And when your batting average is only .234, you can't be hitting too good against right-handers. 170 isn't too good. 338 is very good.
That's where you look for that backup left-handed hitting catcher who you can use against the real good right-handed pitchers. That's why so many managers say, well, if I could have a second or third catcher, I'd like him to be a left-handed hitter. That's not to take anything away from the Steve Lakes and the Tom Pagnozzis of the world. But you hear managers say that so often, and this would be that kind of spot. It's really not fair to a Tom Pagnozzi. Catch him once every 10 days, he's going to probably catch against a real good right-hander, and then it's tough for him, too.
Sure.
2 strikes on Pena. Up the middle, a base hit. So Pena, in fact, does continue to hit the left-handers well, and it sets up the sacrifice situation for pitcher Ken Hill.
Well, Langston, a Gold Glove winner in the American League, seems a little bit frustrated. He doesn't catch this line right. He would have caught that. Then he definitely earns a Gold Glove.
Tony has the Cards' first hit. He is the second base runner. Smith walked, stole second, went to third on a ground out in the first inning. And Tony back. The Cards today made a roster move, by the way. Todd Worrell has been activated from the disabled list. And rookie right-hander Matt Kinzer has been optioned to the Louisville Redbirds. No score here in the third. Kenny just stabbing at it, 1 strike.
High fastball like Ken Hill just saw. Very difficult to bunt, and usually when you do get a piece of it, you pop it in the air. Wallach really charging, coming right down the throat.
That's a ball, 1-1. Galarraga a little slower to charge. And with a left-handed pitcher, and Galarraga, you'd be thinking bunt down that first baseline here. Jim Riggleman coaching over there at first, and Rich Hacker around at third. No score, third inning. Pena a leadoff single at first base. One and two.
Ken Hill did not like this called strike. Felt it was a bit too far inside. Possibly even down.
Look low, didn't it? Breaking ball, bending low. There's a strike. He knows that one's in there. The strikeout is the 4th for Langston.
Hill fails to sacrifice. There's a good breaking ball. That was the strike.
Langston now in 18 1/3 innings has fanned 25, and he faces Vince Coleman, a strikeout victim, to begin the ball game. Vince thinking bunt. Does he offer? No, says Randy Marsh, the first base umpire. And it's ball 1. Last night, Vince stole a couple of bases and now has 24 steals this season. And of course, when Vince steals a base, it means another $100 for Children's Hospital from your Metro St. Louis Lincoln Mercury dealers. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Cards' left fielder. Langston won 19 with Seattle in 1987. He was a 17-game winner in his rookie season back in '84. Langston this year with the Mariners was 4-5, 1-0 here, so he's even 5 wins, 5 losses. 1-1. Vince takes a strike, 1-2. Coleman has been a bit cool with the bat, as has Ozzie on deck. Vince is 3 for his last 18.
Okay, you get the impression Whitey thinks it's going to be a very, very low-scoring game.
I do get that impression.
You have Coleman sacrificing with 1 out. Not trying to bunt for a base hit.
1-2. If nothing else, Whitey thinks that it'll be tough to get more than 1 or 2 for our side. And then you got to hope that Hill, who's been helped by a couple of double plays already, will be able to hold back the Expos, who really have not been that offensively strong of late, even though they have been winning. But their big guns, Galarraga and Wallach up the middle, have not been producing, and in fact Brooks hasn't either, and he's sitting this one out.
Yeah, but I think you can safely say that their numbers will increase.
Pena going, a Texas leaguer. Here's Nixon. He can't get there. Throw to second. Not in time. It's a single for Vince Coleman. Boy, Pena out in no man's land.
He's out in no man's land, but he almost made a critical error by going into second base, standing up. When you go in standing up, it takes a little bit of time. This ball was hit so high, Tony was running on the pitch. He started to go back to first, held his ground, and now he has to get to second base ahead of the force out. When you go in standing up, it takes time to stop. If you go in sliding, you'll get there quicker.
Payne at second, Coleman at first, 1 out, and Ozzie Smith the hitter. Ozzie walked in the first inning. Oz takes a strike. I was talking with Joe Sparks, the hitting coach of the Expos, before the ball game. He was watching some of his hitters that he, of course, tutors, as Johnny Lewis does every day. Talking about stances and swings. Joe Sparks said, watch Ozzie Smith. I love his swing from both sides. He just does it perfectly. No hitches, no little catches. He just is ready, cocked, goes into the swing, goes into the pitch. He says, I really, really like his swing of all the swings I've seen in the National League. And he is rather compact. Of course, as we pointed out, he has a little bit different style from the right side than he does from the left. More of a power swing from this side. Down the right field line, Mike Alfretti giving chase. The little guy in a hurry makes the catch in fair ground, and the runners will hold. Pena at second and Coleman at first, and that's 2 away.
And on that swing, it looked like he had a little hitch.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Which will make you get underneath the ball and loft the ball to right field.
Great point.
Now watch him right here. Watch a little hitch, come right there, and then you get underneath it. That's not the swing where you come down on it and have the line drive swing.
Very good point.
But you know why he did it? It was an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, so you sort of start and hitch down. Well, we could sit here and spend 2 or 3 hours and talk nothing but about hitting and probably have a lot of fun. There's just so much to talk about and work with. Now we get a look at one of the best in the game today in Guerrero, rounding out in the first inning, and Pete's in the hole 0-1. Well, we've got Guerrero up both times, Al, where we want him, with men out there in scoring position. He had Smith at second in the first inning. Now he's got Pena at second and Coleman at first here in the third. In terms of RBIs with 38, he is 4th in the league behind Kevin Mitchell, soon to be called Babe Mitchell, Will Clark, and Eric Davis.
About Mitchell, he's on another planet.
1-2, and Guerrero looking around as if to say, you're from the AAA Alliance?
Well, Relaford has shown tonight that he will give the pitcher the inside pitch. And of course, it's amazing that the inside strikes are only thrown by winning pitchers.
1-2. 2 on, 2 outs. No score at third inning. Now 2-2.
I hear noise in this stadium.
Langston has not only turned on his teammates and turned around the ball club, but he's got the fans excited here in Montreal. 2-2. I guess it's not big news to say that Montreal is not a great baseball town. Although there is a long history of great baseball here. The old Montreal Royals had some wonderful players when they were a AAA farm team many years ago. But it will always, of course, be the town of another sport.
Our buddy Tommy Lasorda held all the career pitching marks here in Montreal.
Maybe that's why it's not a baseball town. 2-2. Oh, what a great pitch. My, oh my. 5 strikeouts already for Mark Langston. You just have to admire him, and that's what they're doing here at Olympic Stadium.
Budweiser and Bud Light are joining USA Today so you can vote for the All-Stars. Pick up an official All-Star fan ballot free wherever you buy Bud and Bud Light. Then enter the All-Star Pick-a-Pair Trivia Sweepstakes. Answers appear every day in USA Today, your #1 source for sports coverage. So look for this display and vote.
For the thrill of making the team. For the all-stars, for the dream. Swinging a shot in right center field may not be caught. It is.
For great personal service and low everyday prices, check the lineup at your neighborhood True Value hardware store, where the June True Value of the month is the 12-piece power bit set by Master Mechanic. Make your cordless drill or screwdriver more versatile with these 7 bits, an adapter, 4 sockets packed in a storage case. During June, get the 12-piece power screwdriver bit set by Master Mechanic for just $3.49, where you see the banner in participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
KOJB-TV brings Bigfoot Fast Tracks to the TNT Spring National, June 16th and 17th at the Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds. Now you can become a Bigfoot driver, too. We're giving away pulling packs, complete with a toy monster truck, a T-shirt, and 2 tickets to the pull. And one lucky kid wins a Bigfoot ride-on toy like this, free. Send your name, address, and phone number to Bigfoot, KOJB-TV, 937 East 53rd Street, Davenport, 52807, or enter at the station. Enter today and become a part of the Bigfoot Fast Tracks team.
Time for our Lincoln Mercury stolen base update. Vince Coleman is sitting on 24. In fact, he's 24 for 24 this season. And going back to last season, the Cardinals speedster has 30 consecutive stolen bases. That's an all-time Cardinal record. This stolen base update brought to you by your Metro St. Louis Lincoln Mercury dealers. Speaking of stolen bases, keep in mind that the Expos lead the National League in stolen bases with 64. The Cardinals, after Ozzy's stolen base in the first inning tonight, have 51 on the year. Well, this one is scoreless. Mark Langston, the headliner coming in, has been quite a showman so far. He's done all of his entertaining out on the mound. Now he'll come up to the plate where he already has 2 hits and 7 at-bats since coming to the American League. He is also, by the way, a switch hitter. He is hit right-handed in the first 2 games, and of course doing it again, and it's strike 1.
Now Buck's saying the right side is his natural hitter.
Of course, batting right-handed, he has that treasured left arm in the more dangered area. He was taking batting practice yesterday, hitting the left hand.
He worked a little bit today in the cage left-handed. I think we're going to see him bat right-handed most of the time until he hadn't swung a bat for 8 years, so going 2 for 7 isn't too bad.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Hill has walked 2. He has not struck out anyone. He's given up a couple of hits. In fact, a leadoff hit in each inning. 1 and 2, and Langston is more than getting his cuts. Ken Hill with the ball club last year in 4 games, had 1 start, you recall, and suffered 1 setback. This is his 11th start tonight since being called up from Louisville. He bobbles the ball. The play was so easy it became hard.
Well, he took his eye off the ball. Kenny Hill, a very good athlete himself. It's a slider. Langston tops it. Was not running hard at all until he saw Kenny Hill bobble it. Once he saw that action, then he ran to first base. It has to be scored an error, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
You never know up here.
Now. Langston at first. 3rd straight inning, the Expos have had the leadoff man on. Top of the order, Otis Nixon. Well, you got the good athlete at first. You've got the speedster who will bunt a lot at the plate. You've got a scoreless game in the 3rd inning. And Pendleton looking bunt. The way this guy hits the Cardinals, you wouldn't be that afraid to let him swing. And that's what they're going to do on the first pitch. It's a strike.
Nothing will change with the defense because actually after that first pitch you're even more confused as to what the Expos are asking Nixon to do.
Now Landis-Doy has to say, hold everything. I've got to let my friend here, an unfamiliar base runner, Mark Langston, know exactly what we're doing.
I want to check the ball.
That's the second time they have checked the ball with Hill on the mound, and both times it's been thrown out. Scoreless in the third. One strike on Nixon. That's two of them, 0-2. Tom Foley is on deck. Otis Nixon, the batter, still drawing the infield in. Otis chops it foul, may have caught him near the face, maybe not. Might have turned the shoulder in time, and he seems to be fine.
Strides out. Ball comes up and hit him on the left shoulder. Kind of hard to hit when you're that spread apart.
Boy, way spread. Much too far. Otis, as we say, a Yankee farmhand earlier in his career, was a teammate of Willie McGee's at Nashville back in the early 80s. Had some speed on that team. This ball will go foul. Still two strikes on Otis Nixon. Ken Hill coming to the Cardinals with Mike Laga in the deal that sent Mike Heath to Detroit in 1986. Of course, we have gotten Heath for Joaquin Andujar. Nice block by Pena. The way I look at that deal, Al, there were two trades, and we ended up getting Ken Hill for Joaquin Andujar. May oversimplified a little bit, but I'm sure Del Maxville won't argue.
It's a forkball right in the dirt, and Tony so much better this season blocking balls in the dirt. That's all that hard work Tony is with Mike Rourke, Dave Ricketts.
Is there another double play out there? Nixon would be tough to double up.
How about the strikeout? Boy, Kenny Hill wanted that one, and I don't blame him.
2-2 now.
Let's look at this last pitch. You be the judge. Is this a strike or not?
You say it's high.
No way.
Above the belt. Just raise your eyebrows. Pendleton goes to Oquendo, one on to first, nowhere near in time, and they get the out. Unfortunately, you'd rather have Langston at first than Nixon, so it becomes a little tougher on the bases, but you do get the out.
Nixon has 17 stolen bases on the year.
Langston gets a huge hand as he goes to the Montreal dugout.
Well, he showed a little bit of athletic ability going in, trying to take out Oquendo. I do those little things. He's just an all-around athlete.
Now Tom Foley. No score, third inning. Olympic Stadium, Montreal. Foley applied to center in the first inning. The Expos had the bases loaded in the first on a double and two walks, but Wallach hit into a double play. Last inning, Aldretti led off with an infield single, and then Fitzgerald hit into a double play. In this inning, Langston on an error by Hill. Nixon hits into a force out. And I guess the natural sequence would be for Foley to hit into an inning-ending double play. Pitch out, nothing doing with Otis Nixon. As Al says, 17 of the Expos' 64 stolen bases have come from Nixon.
Foley, a pretty good number two man. He has the ability to hit behind the runner, put the ball in play.
Cardinals have done a good job in throwing out would-be base stealers.
Pena 39%, Pagnazzi 35%.
That's really better than good. That's in the excellent area. 25% would be a little bit more typical. 1-0. A strike, 1-1. Tom Foley, former Red, former Philly. He's kind of interesting. He learned his baseball internationally, if you will. His dad was in the military. Tom's first baseball was when he was 6 years old in Japan. He played from when he was 6 until 10 in Japan. And from when he was 10 years old until 12 years old, he played baseball in Germany. And then when he was about 13, he moved to Florida. So he was exposed to an interesting start in his baseball career. His dad coached him when he first played over in Japan. And as he tells the story, my dad coached and I sat. First couple of years, he said, I just never played. 1-1 on Foley. There goes Nixon. The pitch is a strike, and at second safely is Otis Nixon with his 18th stolen base.
Nixon, big lead. He's off on the pitch. Watch Tony. Looked like he almost took a stride almost into the runner. I don't know if he was trying, or into the hitter, trying to get an interference or not. The crossover step.
Nixon at second. 1 out, 1-2 on Foley. Still 1-2. I guess if you've played baseball in Japan for a long time and in Germany for a long time, it's not that unusual to be playing in Canada, huh? Kind of fits. To second, Smith, and no throw by Hill. No score, third inning. Expos threaten. And Foley goes down swinging. Let's pause here 15 seconds for station identification. This is the St. Louis Cardinals Television Network.
This is KLJB TV Davenport.
Here's Andres Galarraga. In the scoreless game, at second, Otis Nixon 2 away. Galarraga drew a walk in the first inning. Big RBI man for the Expos. Ball 1. Al, how about Hill tonight? How about a little report card early for him?
Well, he still always has a good fastball. The biggest thing is when he's ahead in the count, then they can't sit on any of his 3 pitches.
One ball, one strike. The big cat, Andres Galarraga of Venezuela. He was discovered by Philippe Ballou. Nice guy, friendly. Trying to get it all together. He's struggled a bit this season.
Kenny, before the game, they had a little award ceremony for all the Latin players. And between these 2 clubs, there are 10 Latin players between the Cardinals and Montreal.
We could have a Winter League game tomorrow morning. 2-1.
Hill trying to come up. The Sky report, they want the fastball up and in on Galarraga, tie him up.
Two and one. They're 2 down. 3-1.
That ball just totally got away from Kenny Hill. Pena trying to tell his young pitcher, hey, Just relax. He tried to overthrow that time, and now he got a command from the dugout to go out and tell him verbally. Kenny Hill got a little bit excited. He had a 2-ball, 1-strike count. He tried to overthrow a fastball. It was supposed to be inside, and he held on to it, trying to overthrow it. The ball is down and away.
Mike Rourke, of course, helping out. Follow through what he's indicating there to Pena. Go out and tell Hill. Ken Hill's dad has coached him since he was a real youngster. And he talks to his dad after just about every game. And his dad continually is reminding him to do things. And one of them is to pitch, not throw. He walks Galarraga. 3 walks for Hill. 1 strikeout.
One of the things Whitey had told me about Kenny Hill, his first few starts when he was so spectacular, he walked very few. But this is what really Whitey expects of him, is to be always on the borderline of walking batters.
One thing that concerns Whitey a little bit about Ken Hill is that he's never won anywhere. In other words, he's always had more losses than victories. And Whitey really wanted him to spend all of this year at Louisville and be a winner and come to the big leagues a winner. But of course, we know not all has gone as well as we all would like, and the scenario has changed. Tim Raines slams it to left center. That gets down. Nixon will score. Galarraga can motor. He's at third. The ball bobbled, kicked around out there, and to third goes Raines. 2-0, Montreal. They've got him in the cleanup spot because Galarraga, Wallach, and Brooks have not been producing, and Raines produces here.
Timmy Raines is a very good hitter. Kenny Hill, fastball up, trying to get ahead in the count. Oh, these guys are pretty good fastball hitters. Thompson had a little trouble with the ball right there. It slipped out of his glove and his glove. 2 runs would have scored, but Raines should have been held at second base, and he gets to third.
It'll be a double and an error on Thompson, the second Cardinals error of the inning. Raines at third, 2 outs. Wallach is the batter. And the breaking pitch in for a strike. Tim grounded into a double play in the first inning.
And you get sort of the impression of some of the Cardinal hitters. You saw Wallach take a breaking ball there, but these Expos hitters are going up there. They're looking for first ball fastball.
Look out. There goes that bat again, and Ozzie will field it adeptly. He's a Gold Glover even taking bats. 2 strikes on Wallach.
The Expos are looking fastball off of Ken Hill. Here he's looking fastball again. He gets a slider, and the bat comes loose. Wallach early this afternoon was using a batting apparatus where it was like a belt around his waist. It had a strap that he tied to the back of the batting cage, trying to hold him back. He's really a body hitter, lunging out over the plate, and this apparatus was to hold him and keep him from lunging at pitches.
Cards have really tied him up this year. 3 for 23. 2 strikes. He's not been hitting well lately, and they've been working a lot with Wallach. In fact, one of the things that they did with Tim Wallach this afternoon is they spent an hour in the videotape room. Last winter, hitting coach Joe Sparks spent a week with Wallach at Wallach's home in California. And they have an hour-long videotape of the swing he had in the wintertime that they thought was perfect. So they examined that today to try to get him out of the slump. Pendleton throws low, and it's scooped up by Guerrero, and that ends the Expos' third. Well, the Hill error and the walk to Galarraga really hurt. After 3, 2-0, Montreal.
At Pearl, we know there are lots of reasons to get a spare pair of glasses.
For reading, of course.
For sports, b-ball.
Ooh, these go with my outfit.
Well, now at Pearl, you can get that second pair free.
I lose stuff.
Just buy a pair of glasses, present the coupon from leading magazines or your local paper, and that spare pair is yours. For the best reason of all.
Hey, they're free.
And now for our grand prize drawing for $1 million.
If it's time for a new TV or any household appliance, it's time for Hilltop TV. Check out Hilltop's amazing rent-to-own program, available on TVs, VCRs, furniture, and home appliances. Hilltop's experienced service professionals take care of all repairs through the entire rental period. There are no credit hassles, and you own the product in the end. Rent to own the easy way with Hilltop TV, 3005 Brady Street, Davenport.
Here's how you can improve a Cadillac DeVille in 3 easy steps. First, make it longer and give it a 5-liter V8. Second, make it wider to give it more shoulder and hip room. Third, give it a bigger trunk for more luggage space. When you're all through, what you have is the Lincoln Town Car. No wonder over 91,000 Cadillac owners have switched to Lincoln in the past 5 years. It's a logical step to make.
Now get $1,500 customer cash on Lincoln Town Car and Mark 7.
Indoors in Canada, the roof was off Monday night, back on last night. It's on tonight. Ken Hill in the third, unable to keep the roof on the Expos, and the Cards come up in the fourth, down 2-0, facing Mark Langston, who has already struck out 5. He's walked 1 and given up singles to Pena and Coleman. Here he'll face Brunanski, Pendleton, and Oquendo. And the first pitch is a strike. Tom was called out on strikes in the first inning. One and one. The Cards as a team hitting .252. That's tops in the league, along with Chicago. Cincinnati and San Francisco, the top 2 teams in the West, at .251. The league average is .242, and that's exactly what the Expos are hitting. So they're the median. You like that, Al? The median?
Yes.
Pretty good, huh? Do I have to explain the difference between average and median? I don't, do I? I couldn't. So we'll just leave it at that. 2-0. Montreal leads here in the fourth. We're at Olympic Stadium, a ballpark of noises. Last night and Monday night, we told you about the clicking noise that you hear in our telecasts. It's not Al and I chattering our teeth because the temperature is perfect, but it's our wired service, our ticker tape, our wire service machine that provides that noise. Foley grabs Brunanski's pop-up. There's 1 out in the fourth inning. Also, they have a ventilation fan system here at Olympic Stadium, and they crank that baby up when the roof is on, so you're also hearing a humming noise. Sounds a little bit like a modern McDonnell Douglas DC-9, one of the MD-80s that is very quiet, but in a ballpark it's a little noisy. So that's what that is. Every once in a while you hear another voice. That's Al. I'm Ken, and this is Terry Pendleton, who grounded out in the second inning. Cards trail 2-0 in the fourth. Aldretti. 2 away. We could also show you some funny-looking words, I guess, in this ballpark. Most of the advertising signs, and there are many of them, are in French. There is one along the first base line that is a sentence that doesn't have a particular sponsor attached to the sentence necessarily. Jose Oquendo looks at a strike. Card's second baseman flied out in the second inning. So it's baseball a little different than we're used to here in Montreal. And to see a guy throw like Langston, that's a little different than we're used to also. 1-1. There you go. That's pretty nice. That's typical of the signage you see all around Montreal. So everything's a little different here. 1-2.
You were talking about the difference between and the competitiveness between Toronto and Montreal. Toronto, to me, is a very Americanized city, maybe a little bit cleaner than any American city I've seen, where Montreal is definitely a foreign country.
1-2. For people who have not been to Canada, Canada can be a little difficult to describe. Toronto and Montreal, Al, you're so right, are very different. And man, are they competitive. People in Montreal are jealous because they think that Canadians make Toronto the center of the universe, and they'd like Montreal to be the center of it.
Speaking of jealousy, you notice Joe McGrain back with Scott Terry behind the glass at home plate. You think he's a bit jealous of the stuff Mark Langston possesses?
3-2 on Oquendo. Yeah, there's Joe with Scott Terry out of uniform back of the plate. That's an admiring duo, right? McGrain pitched last night and lost. His next outing will be Saturday afternoon on television in Chicago, going for his first win since May 10th. A 2-out walk to Oquendo. And for Langston, his second walk, he has struck out 5. You know, a lot of people think, Al, that Montreal is a very international city, and it is. And a lot of people say, well, it's more like Europe than any other North American city. And I guess that's true with the exception of Quebec City, which is as close to France as you'll see outside of France. Thompson, ball 1. Milt struck out in the second inning. Old Montreal, there is a section of town here. It's a touristy section down by the river. The original part of Montreal is very much like cities you see in France. And Quebec City has a huge old town that reminds you of Europe. But it's certainly different than what we are used to, as they say here, south of the border in the States. Cards are down 2-0 in the fourth. Oquendo's at first. Thompson the batter. And he slams one down the left field line, but it'll go foul. The other battles they have in Canada are East versus West, English versus French, to go along with Montreal versus Toronto. So they have their own issues up here, besides trade with the United States, which is probably the biggest political issue. 3-1.
Why are you informative tonight?
Oh, I'm sort of waiting for something to happen. Langston is happening. That's what's happening. He has shut out the Cardinals on 2 hits here in the fourth. I stop while I'm behind. 3-1 on Thompson. Now 3-2. We're going to go to a little algebra. Langston plus Expos equals pennant.
Yeah, it brings up a very good point. I think the Cardinals are in a little bit of a lapse right now. Cardinal players are really wanting management to make a trade to push them over the top, where the Expos feel that the addition of Langston will get them over the top.
There goes the runner, 3-2 with 2 outs, and back to first will go Oquendo. There's no question the trade for Langston has provided a huge psychological lift for the Montreal Expos, and they are 8-3 since he has joined the team. Outfield shades to left. Langston misses with the curve, and back-to-back 2-out walks give the Cardinals 2 men on for the second straight inning.
I think Charlie Relaford missed with the curve, not Mr. Langston.
The rookie umpire behind the plate tonight. And the hitter will be Tony Pena, who has hit more homers in his career against Montreal than any other team, and I can't think of a nicer time than to collide with one of Langston's fastballs than right here. They're going to get one. 1 strike.
Relaford, the home plate umpire, sitting on the inside corner, has been generous with the inside pitch. But it seems like the tendency with umpiring today is they're more generous with the outside pitch. Catcher set up inside. Ball down and in.
So the Cardinals are not only battling a pitcher they've never seen, but an umpire that they have never had call balls and strikes in the game they've been involved with. Pena seems to offer, and the rookie ump says, yeah, I don't need any help. That's 2 strikes.
Well, Langston has that real hard slider. Just an outstanding pitch.
Langston on Montreal. Not only have they gone out of their way to be friendly to him, they've gone into their wallets and paid to see him tonight here at Olympic Stadium. And he's worth paying to see. A shot. Galarraga can't make the play. Oquendo to third. They're waving him in. The throw to the plate will be close. Safe at the plate is Oquendo. To third goes Thompson. To second goes Pena. And the Expos lead has been trimmed to 2-1. Tony hit it very sharply.
Tony hit it very sharply, and Galarraga 99% of the time would have come up with this ball cleanly. He does not do so. He sets and fires to the plate. Fitzgerald tried to block off the approach of Oquendo, but he got underneath the tag. And then Tony Pena, good base running, was halfway between first and second. When he saw the throw go to the plate, he scooted down to second.
It is a single for Pena, an RBI, his 11th. The second on the throw as Oquendo scores. And the Cards doing all this damage with 2 outs. Walks to Oquendo and Thompson, and the Pena single, and Hill will be the batter. Well, when you're getting all the attention that Langston is, I guess you can just call time and sit down and adjust your shoe. And everybody will wait. They can't play the game without him.
Nice bit of base running and good coaching from Rich Hacker, sending Oquendo with 2 outs and the pitcher coming up.
1 strike on Hill. There's Rich. Hill, remember, can hit a bit. 6 hits in 23 at-bats. And he has driven in a run. The right kind of hit here could give the Redbirds the lead. 1-1. It's the 4th inning. 2-1 Montreal. Each side now with 3 hits. The Cards have made 2 errors. 1-2. A Ken Hill error last inning was very costly. It led to the Expos 2 unearned runs in the 3rd. Runners at second and third, 2 outs, 1-2 the count. Langston against Hill.
Thompson was charging down the line, and apparently Kenny Hill called time.
That flustered. Some pitchers will do that. You're supposed to avoid being flustered when you're on the mound. Langston picks up another strikeout. He has at least 1 in every inning and half a dozen. On to the bottom of the 4th. A tight one again. 2-1 Expos.
What did she get me? This isn't my Raisin Bran. Raisin Nut Bran? What's Raisin Nut Bran? It's got raisins covered in nuts. Raisin nuts. Oh boy, I like raisin nuts. Now I'll have to tell her I like Raisin Nut Bran. Okay, I like it. I knew it, she's gloating.
Raisin Nut Bran. 1 bowl, and you'll be ours.
Big Sur Waterbeds has one very important word for you. On.
Frank, the sign's upside down.
No.
Perfect.
At Big Sur Waterbeds, it's no payments, no interest, no charges of any kind for 6 months with your good credit. Could we make it any easier to say yes, yes, yes to a waterbed? No, no, no.
Frank?
Big Sur Waterbeds, for the Quad City's largest...
Congratulations to Pedro Guerrero. He is the winner of the MetLife Cardinal of the Month Award for May. Each month during the season, MetLife is presenting this award to the Cardinal who's made an outstanding contribution to the team during the month. And at the end of the year, it'll all culminate with the presentation of the MetLife Cardinal of the Year Award. Last year, it went to Jose Oquendo. What a month Pete had in May. Hit well over 300, had 3 homers, 17 RBIs. Congratulations, Pedro Guerrero, May's MetLife Cardinal of the Month. The 4th inning. Mike Aldretti, Mike Fitzgerald, and Spike Owen. The Expos, 2 unearned runs in the third. The Cardinals get one back on a Pena hit here in the fourth. Let's see if Hill can mow him down. There is strike one. Aldretti, a Stanford product. He has a lot of ties to the Bay Area, leaving there for the first time to come to Montreal this season. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and one. Speaking of Aldretti and the Giants, they have a 1-game lead over Cincinnati in the Western Division. The Giants are at Cincinnati tonight, 2-2 in the second inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Kevin Mitchell hadn't hit a home run today?
Not yet. Now in the second inning, the Reds are rallying. Paul O'Neill has hit a 3-run homer, and the inning is just over, and Cincinnati has scored 6 to lead at 8-2. And Aldretti strikes out for Ken Hill. Strikeout number 2.
Most left-handed hitters are low ball hitters. There's just a high fastball. And Aldretti swings through it.
You know, Al, talking about the Giants and Kevin Mitchell, and tying it in with the fact that the Cards are at the 1/3 point of the season after tonight. What a year Mitchell is having. We touched on it a little last night. Ball 1 to Mike Fitzgerald, who hit into a double play in the second inning. Kevin Mitchell has 22 homers to lead the majors, and already has 61 RBIs. 1-1. At his current pace, Kevin Mitchell will finish the season with 63 home runs. And of course, that would break Roger Maris's record of 61 in 1961. 2-1. Mitchell with the 61 RBIs on a pace that would give him 173. Of course, Hack Wilson, as everyone knows, holds the major league record with 190 RBIs in the 1930 season. Some remarkable numbers being put up by Kevin Mitchell.
Oh, that's not so bad. We as a team have 2 more home runs than Kevin does. We have 24.
Well, that's only because we got the 2 here in the third inning on Monday night. 3-2 on Fitzgerald. Ken Hill allowing 2 unearned runs, 3 hits. Has walked 3, struck out 2, working in the fourth. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the fourth inning of Aldretti and Fitzgerald.
Fastball down and away. Brought up a good point about Whitey wanting to have Kenny Hill have a successful season. A lot can be said about learning how to win, being a winner. Some people say Kenny Hill, who has a very good arm, but he pitches just well enough to lose.
1-0 on Owen, now 1-1. We made the point that Hill has never been a winner in the minors. And you see the numbers, and of course has not been a winner here. It's not to say that he's not talented. Just the point that Al's making, and the idea of Whitey Herzog would like to have had him be a winner at AAA this year. 2-1.
His team gets 5, he'll give up 6. His team gets 2, he'll give up 3 type thing. And that's just something that, you know, I mean, that's where some people are making that point when you don't learn how to win in the minor leagues.
This has popped up. Well, after the Cards get a run in the top of the fourth, Hill does exactly what you wanted to see. He comes back and has his best inning, a 1-2-3 fourth inning. It's 2-1 Montreal.
Today, consider a career in the trucking industry. Become a member of a group of both men and women who are leaving dead-end jobs by the roadside. Let Amtech, the leader in training quality truck drivers, show the way. Amtech works for its students, assisting in housing, financial aid, and career placement.
It all started right here at Amtech.
It's a real interesting life.
Amtech can provide you the road to opportunity, but it's up to you to have the interest, desire, and motivation to drive it to success.
I just did something about oat bran. I changed my cereal to Cheerios. If oat bran can be important to my health, then I'm doing something about it. So, starting now, I'm eating Cheerios every morning. What do you think about that? Every morning, no exceptions. You want oat bran? You go to the cereal made from whole grain oats. Cheerios for oat bran every morning. You gonna eat the whole box?
Cheerios for oat bran every morning.
Ford has just announced up to $750 cash back on the world's best-selling car, Ford Escort. That's right. For a limited time only, you can get up to $750 cash back from Ford and save over $700 in options. That's a total savings of over $1,400, and that's before you make your best deal. This $750 cash back offer won't last long, so hurry into your Ford dealer and get $750 cash back or 2.9% financing on Escort. But don't wait. It all ends soon.
The Post-Dispatch and the Cardinals getting together to provide you with White Rat Book Day. It's Father's Day, Sunday, June 18th. The Pirates will be in a 1:15 game. And all of you 16 and over with a paid admission will receive this paperback copy of Whitey Herzog's autobiography, White Rat. Hope you're planning to be there. Be sure you bring Dad on Father's Day to the ballpark, June 18th. It's all compliments of the Post-Dispatch. Whitey Herzog's Cardinals down 2-1 as we go to the 5th inning. Ken Wilson with Al Raboski. We welcome Hall of Famer Bob Gibson to the booth. You didn't wear your tie, so we can't go on camera. We can't show you, huh?
Right.
But everybody knows you didn't wear your tie now, so
well, they didn't know that. They didn't know until you just told.
And you're still big and strong and tough, aren't you? So I better be quiet. I better toe the line. It's nice to have you. You like what you see of Langston, despite the fact that we're trailing in this game? Is he all that he's been advertised to be?
Yeah, I believe so. He has two fastballs. He has one that tails away, the other one that comes in. He cuts it a little bit and it comes in. His breaking ball reminds me of the breaking ball that Steve Carlton had, the one that can down and in real hard on the right-hander.
Here in the 5th inning, Langston will face the top of the order, Coleman, Smith, and Guerrero. And that's a strike. Vince has struck out and singled. Cardinals have had base runners in all but one inning. You might wonder, I mentioned Coleman had a single in the 3rd, why we're not talking about a stolen base. Well, Pena was in front of him. Langston has already struck out 6. He has walked 3. The 2-out back-to-back walks last inning really killed him when Pena followed with a single off of first baseman Andres Galarraga to bring in a run. 1-2. Coleman, the hit tonight, had a double and a walk last night. Had a single on Monday night. Scored a run in each of the first 2 games. Rips one into the corner, and this will go off the wall, and Coleman speeds into second base. So Vince, who's been a little cool with a bat, coming alive now with back-to-back hits here in this game. He leads off the 5th with a double.
Kind of breaking ball from Langston. Hit down and in. Vince got a way out in front, but it worked to his advantage. That ball jumped off his bat, going off the wall.
That's another one of the reasons why I don't like down and in pitches. However, when you got a good breaking ball like that, you can do it and get away with it.
The second hits Coleman in the arm, and Foley there to grab the ball. It looked as though it hit Coleman in the arm, and he gives you every indication that he got it in the right wrist.
The timing play, Langston, it wasn't a daylight play or anything because the shortstop never showed daylight to the pitcher. The shortstop was maybe a little bit late covering. You know, the play where you say, okay, the shortstop will give a command. You see the forearm. Give a command. Shortstop will give the pitcher a sign, and then he'll say, okay, 1001, 1002, 1003, wheel, and try and throw to the bag.
Yeah, I don't know that Langston's been here long enough to learn any of those plays yet, but probably he heard about Vince Coleman's speed. He saw shortstop going over, thought he'd try to pick him off.
There goes Coleman. The pitch is a ball, and the throw is not in time. And Vince Coleman now 25 for 25 this season and has stolen 31 consecutive bases. And, of course, that's a personal high.
It's a high pitch, a little bit too high for Fitzgerald to make an accurate throw. And one hops Wallach.
And Ozzie cuts and misses 1-1. That stolen base by Vince Coleman means $100 for Children's Hospital from your Metro St. Louis Lincoln Mercury dealers. The Cardinals have had men in scoring position in every inning now except the second inning. Got a run in the fourth. It's the fifth. Looking to tie it. Nobody out. Hard ground ball to Owen, playing back. The run will score, and the throw off the bag, but the tag by Galarraga. And Ozzie picks up his 19th RBI, grounding out and driving in Vince Coleman to tie it at 2.
And the middle infielders were jockeying around with Ozzie. They were come charging in, then backpedaling, and that might have something to do a little bit with Spike Owens' errant throw. He didn't really get on top of the ball, so it sailed on him. Galarraga comes off the bag with a high throw and then make the tag to Ozzie.
First pitch to Guerrero is a strike. Pete is grounded out and struck out. 2-2 now in the fifth inning. You've got to be encouraged down in that third base dugout, getting a couple of runs off Langston. Such a great pitcher, his reputation preceding him, and this is quite a ball game.
I think it's just a matter of getting on base with this ball club, the Cardinals especially, because he holds that leg in the air an awful long time, and I think they're going to be able to run on him. The problem is getting on base.
One and 2 on Guerrero. The Cardinals now have out-hit the Expos 4-3. It is 2-2 in the fifth.
Kind of reminds me of the left-hander we got from Oakland for
Conroy.
Conroy kicks his leg the same way.
1 and 2.
Makes us a little better pitcher than Conroy.
Yeah.
Well, Conroy may have had the best arm in organization when he was here. And he had a tender shoulder when we got him.
The problem is with all of that energy and all of that good fastball, you have to corral it into the strike zone, and he had a hard time doing that.
There's the breaking pitch, and out is Guerrero, according to Randy Mark. 7 Mark Langston strikeouts, at least 1 in every inning. Here's what you're talking about.
Well, watch his wind up here, and the high leg kick way over his head. It's an awful lot behind each of his pitches.
Yeah, and then you can see how long it takes with the leg kick to deliver the ball. They'll give you a couple steps.
Ball 1 on Tom Brunanski. The Redbirds cleanup hitter has struck out and popped out.
I think he's going to find that in the National League they'll probably run a little bit more than they did over in the American League, where they play for the long ball.
Speaking of long ball, Brunanski crushes one, reins back, and she's gone. And the Cardinals take the lead in the fifth inning, 3-2. Home run number 7 for Tom Brunanski. He leads the Cardinals in that department. And Brunanski, interestingly enough, hasn't been hitting much. His last 6 hits, 3 of them have been home runs. And we'll take it, a 3-2 lead.
And we were noting before the game, Bob Gibson, when you talk about Brunanski, now he has 31 RBIs. Guerrero's 4th in the National League with 38. And if you project now his 7 home runs, he goes over that magic 20 mark in a 162-game schedule.
First pitch is a strike to Pendleton. And this is game number 54, the 1/3 point of the season. If you projected Brunanski's numbers out, 21 homers and 93 RBIs,
And I think everyone agrees he hadn't really had a hot streak yet.
Absolutely, he hasn't gotten hot yet.
And of course, Guerrero ahead of him in RBIs. That's the second home run Langston has given up in his 3 starts with Montreal. The Cardinals down 2-0 after a couple of unearned Expos runs in the 3rd. Get 1 back in the 4th on a Pena RBI single. And get 2 back here on a double by Coleman, a stolen base, a Smith ground out, and a 2-out Brunanski home run. 2-2 on Pendleton.
Now we're getting to the time of the year where these hitters start rolling their sleeves up and waiting for the pitchers to get tired about the 6th inning or so, especially when you're playing outside. Of course, in here it's always cool, but you're going to start seeing more extra base hits now, I think.
3-2.
Doesn't have anything to do with the William D. White baseball?
Well, you know, I would assume that they say no. All right, fine. You know, there's got to be some reason all of a sudden you see 95 home runs. Before that, you saw none.
Out of play, full count.
However, with the Bill White ball and the hot weather, I think you're going to see a lot of balls shooting out of the park and hitting against the top of the wall, and the guys are running and sliding, and pitchers getting taken out in the 6th inning.
Sounds exciting.
I was saying, as long as we're scoring the runs, I'm all for it.
A walk to Pendleton, and with his 7 strikeouts, Langston has issued 4 walks.
Well, we've talked about Charlie Rutherford, the rookie umpire behind the plate. You know, coming into this game, Langston only walked 5, and he has 3 walks now?
4.
4 walks. No, that's right, 4 walks.
He had walked 5 in 16 innings. He has walked 4 in 4 2/3.
Well, Larry Bernard's going to come out and talk to his young pitcher. Go get him.
I think he's found a new respect for this ball club here, and he's being a little more careful than he was at the beginning of the game.
Pendleton at first, 2 in, 2 outs. Oquendo the batter. The Cardinals looking for a win, and they lead 3-2. That would get them back to within 5 of the first place Cubs. And of course, we're going to play the Cubs 4 times this weekend in Chicago. 1-0 on Oquendo.
The book on Langston is that he has an excellent move to first base, but anytime you see a left-hander throw straight over the top first base, he does not have a good move.
There goes Pendleton, and the ball ripped foul.
I think what it is, Bob, is the fact that he lifts that high leg up. He's in a position where he can go to first. But once he goes to the plate, the base runner is going to get a good jump.
But even going to first, he's got to come over the top. And the best throw for a left-hander is either 3/4 or drop down a little further.
Well, he does have a very good move where he steps off and a quick throw to first. That's what you're talking about, right there.
3-2 Cardinals, 5th inning. 2-1.
Send Pendleton here.
Doesn't bother me. Anytime we get an opportunity to run, I think we ought to.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And they're going to talk about it.
And Cardinals traditionally have been a running ball club, and there's no reason for them not to do it now. That's the only way they're going to win. They got to run.
Terry just missed the sign.
Well, might as well not go now. We're going to pitch out.
Well, if he gets a good jump, go ahead.
Nah, he's not going to pitch out.
2-2. Cards have already stolen 2 bases tonight. Smith in the 1st, Coleman in the 5th, and that's 52 stolen bases. But as we say, this is the 54th game, and that's not including the game where the statistics counted that will be replayed with Atlanta at home. So we're below a stolen base game, and that's real low for this one. Terry's running, and it's a pitch that gets away. A 3rd strike. Back to the backstop, Fitzgerald, and he recovers in time to throw out Oquendo. 2-3 on the putout. 2 runs in the inning. Ozzie drives in 1, Brunanski the other with his 7th homer. And the Cards take the lead 3-2.
lot of movers these days talk about price rather than service. But do you really want the lowest bidder to move your valued possessions? Making quality service affordable has made United America's #1 family mover, because there's no substitute for the extra protection of our exclusive sanitized treated vans. Our guaranteed on-time deliveries are the helpful facts we provide about your new city. At United, the only thing we have to sell is service, and the quality shows in every move we make.
Here's our GMC truck scoreboard. Cubs losing to the Mets 10-5. Gooden over Sutcliffe. Cincinnati at home leads the Giants 8-3 in the 4th inning. Pittsburgh has just scored 3 in the 4th to tie Philadelphia. Bonds and Thon have homered. In the 4th at Atlanta, the Dodgers with Valenzuela still looking for his first win in about a year, leading 1-0. San Diego will be at Houston. Over in the American League today, Oakland edged Minnesota 3-2. Kansas City over Seattle 9-6. Baltimore at New York rained out. Tonight at Detroit, Boston leads 2-0 in the 4th inning. Toronto at home in the Sky Dome leading Milwaukee 2-0 in the 4th. Chicago is playing at Texas. Cleveland is at California. This scoreboard brought to you by your Midwest GMC truck dealers. When you're in St. Louis, see Bellman, Bomarito, or Brockland GMC. Here it is 3-2. The Cards have RBIs from Tony Pena, Ozzie Smith, and Tom Brunanski. Tim Raines driving in the pair of runs for Montreal. They were unearned back in the 3rd inning. So Ken Hill has given up the 2 unearned runs, allowed only 3 hits, and will face Mark Langston, Otis Nixon, and Tom Foley in the 5th inning. Langston, a key man in the 3rd, hit a little dribbler towards the 3rd baseline from the mound, and Ken Hill took his eye off the little bouncer, booted it for an error, and that started the events that led to the 2 unearned runs on Raines' double. 1 ball, 1 strike on Langston. They shade to right. Ozzie. Guerrero. Langston gets halfway to first. Took a right turn. And there's 1 down. That's 4 in a row now, retired by Hill. Doesn't sound like many, but in this game, where there have been quite a few base runners, it's a streak that's beginning, and you can see Hill getting a little more confidence. Now he has to deal with the top of the order, though, so let's see what he does with Otis Nixon. Otis has been on twice, a double, and he's hit into a force out, has stolen a base, and scored a run. Strike 1.
You know, ordinarily, I never liked the idea of counting pitches, how many pitches a guy throws. You can throw 180 pitches, but you can see what happens in the first 2 or 3 innings. It might be a good idea because he's probably already thrown 90 pitches.
1-1.
Which is a little, not quite a normal game. A normal game is about 115, 120 pitches, so he's just about gone the limit already.
1-2.
Most pitches you ever threw in a game?
Well, I threw over 200. I threw a 14-inning ball game. I had over 200 pitches.
2-2.
Lost the game also.
Yeah, that's, you remember that more, don't you?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, what happened the next start?
Next start, I went 12 innings, and the next start, 10 innings.
Oh, Red was managing.
What a bullpen you had. 2-2. When you look back on that, what do you think of that?
Well, you know, I don't see anything wrong with it because that's the way you had to do it back in those days. And I guarantee you, if these guys had to pitch 9, 10 innings, they could do it. It's a matter of conditioning your brain for it more than anything else.
Little chopper, and Nixon can motor. The throw is into the runner. And they say, that being Charlie Relaford, that it was okay in terms of the location of Nixon running down the line. There is that running lane that you have to be in, and the Cardinals protesting. He was out of it, but the ump says no.
Well, the throw went right into the runner, and I'm not too sure if Pedro didn't get spiked on the ball. Kenny Hill gets down here, and then he fires it, but it deflected. It hit the runner. Hit the runner and then hit Pedro.
No question, the throw was into the runner, and Whitey's coming out to question Otis Nixon's positioning going down the line, and it was pretty marginal.
Yeah, but I think that you're going to have to give it to him. He was in the running area. There's a 3-foot running area that starts about 50 feet down the line, and the runner has to be in that area, and I do believe he was in there. As long as he's not on the inside of that line.
Yeah, right. You can straddle it a little bit, but you flat out better not be inside that foul line. At first, Nixon. That could be trouble. He already has stolen his 18th. He's there with 1 out. Foley is the hitter. Cards lead 3-2.
Go to base hit.
It is an infield single. 2 hits for Nixon. He's done it again. Foley has flied out and struck out. Hill has struck out 3 while walking 3. We've mentioned throughout this series the Expos lead the National League in walks. It's been a big part of their offense. In other words, they're being more patient typically at the plate. Each team tonight has had a runner walk and eventually score. Nixon thinking third, but Brunanski charging exceptionally well. And Nixon has to stop at second on Tom Foley's single. And the Expos rattling the bats here in the 5th inning, trailing 3-2.
Kenny Hill throws in the 90-mile-an-hour mark, but he has a pretty straight fastball. Guerrero holding the runner on, and that ball goes into the vacated first base area.
As tough a time as Hill's had in this game so far with walking guys and getting a lot of guys on base, it might be time to start cranking somebody out, because I'm not sure how much longer he's going to be able to continue to throw that ball over 90. When you lose a little bit, those guys are just waiting for it.
Here's Galarraga and the breaking pitch, 1 strike. Andres has walked twice tonight. Hits are even 5 aside. Cards lead 3-2.
Kenny made a point about how Galarraga and Brooks, who's not playing tonight, Wallach struggling a little bit. The other guys getting a lot of walks. Part of that off of Kenny Hill, they're making him throw a fastball. The breaking pitches they're taking. These guys are up there swinging at his breaking pitches.
2 strikes. Good point out. Boy, it helps when you get Galarraga out, doesn't it? Huh. It's almost a different team that you're playing. Let's hope you can get Galarraga here. There's 1 out, 2 on in the 5th. I know I got 2 guys next to me that love that 0-2 pitch.
Well, you know, Galarraga was diving. Watch the replay. He's diving out over the plate. Watch him. Look at this. Yes, you're going to get knocked down.
That's why he leads the National League in being hit by pitches. Dives out over the plate. It was just an 0-2 pitch that was a little bit further up than Kenny Hill would have liked it to have been. But he was trying purposely to go inside.
Galarraga has been hit 6 times this season.
All right.
And he's out of there. They strike out Andres Galarraga, the Cardinal killer this season, 2 for 19.
See, what I like about this, Al, and I've always said that, when you go up and in, don't go out the next time. Go back in there again.
Sure. Because so often you're going to think you're going to go back away, but what he really did is he pitched where they wanted to, where he wanted the 0-2 pitch, up and in. Tie him up.
They really want to go up. Seemingly most teams in the league now, late last year and this year, have found they can get Galarraga out, up. In other words, he's swinging at pitches often that just aren't in the strike zone. That's the 2nd out, 4th strikeout for Hill. And Buck Rogers now will watch his cleanup man, Tim Raines, a guy he'd like getting up in the batting order above 4th, but a fellow who doubled in 2 in the 3rd. Hitting there because the other guys aren't. The runner Nixon goes. He steals that out. His 22nd tonight, his 19th of the season. And for Montreal, 66 stolen bases.
Well, it's a breaking ball that bounces, so Tony wisely did not throw to third base, but Nixon had a tremendous jump off of Kenny Hill.
And Foley is not playing heads-up baseball because when Nixon steals, he should be running. And then we can walk Raines and pitch to Wallach after that.
Well, then maybe it is heads-up baseball.
1-0 on Raines, 2 down. And it is 2-0.
Kenny Raines, he got the double and walk, and he has really been the only Expos player that has hurt Kenny Hill in his 2 starts against Montreal.
And he's the one fella that has hurt the Cardinals in the 7 games between these 2 teams. Two and 1. In fact, he is 7 for 18 against the Cardinals. So he swung a hot bat when we've seen. That shouldn't surprise you. We know he's a good hitter. Won the batting championship in 1986 to Tim Raines. Raines coming into the season a .305 lifetime hitter. So he's no slouch. 2 on, 2 outs. 5th inning. Cards by a run. And it's 3 balls and a strike on Raines with Wallach on deck.
Bob, you know, you have 8 base open. It happens to be second base.
Communicating with Tony Pena, the catcher.
You know, you have Wallach who hit in that double play, also right-handed hitter with 2 outs. Don't make it careless 3-1 pitch.
Right.
They don't.
That's what Whitey was saying. Run the changeup. The heck with him.
They walk Raines. Hill has walked 4. That loads him up. Raines will be at first. Foley at second. Nixon at third. And Wallach will be the batter.
Wallach's really a mistake hitter.
Grounded into a double play. Grounded to third. Both ground balls have been to third. And John Costello readying himself in the pen. Second time tonight, Wallach has been up with the bases loaded. Strike 1.
One good thing about getting a breaking ball over the first pitch, the hitter really has to go guessing up there now. If you miss with that, now he didn't have to guess much, but you're going to come with something hard.
Cards lead by a run. What's interesting about Wallach, again, he's not hit the Cardinals at all this year. They've really handled him. But he's one of the best Expos with men in scoring position. Again, he had the bases loaded in the first, hit into a double play. In the third, he had Raines at third and grounded out. And here he is in the 5th with the bases loaded again.
I like that. Seeing a catcher take charge, scream at his pitcher, tell him, come on, bear down. You got a 1-run lead. Let's get this guy out. Show me you want the win.
Wallach has driven home 24 this season. 1 strike. Now 1-1.
You know, Ken, you were talking about Wallach being a good RBI man. Usually when a guy's got people in scoring position, they go to the breaking ball more often, and you hang the breaking ball more so, and he's a great triples hitter.
Foul. 1-2.
That's what I meant by Wallach being a mistake hitter.
Yeah.
Hang that breaking ball or something of that nature, and he'll make you pay for it. Make your good pitches, we'll get him out.
Cards by a run. Bases loaded with Expos. 2 down. And they strike out Tim Wallen. So he's had a tough night. Going 0 for 3. Expos leave the bases jammed and leave the offense and go to defense with the Cardinals on top 3-2.
Attention, citizen. My directive number 3 prevents me from paying a lot for this muffler.
Don't worry. At Meineke, you get quality Everlast mufflers from just $18.93 installed.
Thank you for your cooperation. I did not pay a lot for this muffler. Have a nice day.
You're not going to pay a lot for quality at Meineke.
Why would you drive to Kiwani to shop at Good?
When I'm going to buy something of quality and I want it to last, I will travel quite a distance to get that.
And I wanted to see if Mary really worked there.
I've never been in such a large furniture store.
It's just got more variety over here.
The furniture is fantastic.
It's of good quality. It's very attractive.
I love the quality.
I feel the quality is very good. And I know you can't beat the prices.
That's a nice drive.
Worth the trip from anywhere.
You can't drive too far for quality. Goods Furniture in Kiwani.
It'll be a grand opening for Dad when you use the Father's Day Gift Ideas circular from True Value Hardware stores. Give him this Igloo 8.5-quart cooler and matching 1/2-gallon jug, both for just $8.99. Or this kit of fire extinguisher for electrical or liquid fires. It's only $8.88. And this Remington cordless electro blade razor for only $14 comes with 10 bonus blade cartridges at participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers.
In a game filled with base runners, the Cards lead 3-2. Ken Hill had to work out of a jam again in the 5th inning. He had 1 out and 2 on against Galarraga, 0-2.
And the pitch was designed to be up and in, and Galarraga, diving out of the plate, knocks himself down.
Then he comes back and up, strikes him out.
Going up the ladder, gets a strikeout. Look at this. The two pitchers really undistinguished because of the 4 base on balls for each of the pitchers in the 5 innings of work.
And each side has left half a dozen. Milt Thompson leads off against Langston here in the 6th inning and takes a strike. Thompson has struck out and walked. The difference is Tom Brunanski's 2-out 5th inning homer, his 7th of the year. They shade to left on Milt, and he's in the hole 0-2. Thompson, Pena, and Hill in the 6th inning.
Costello throwing in the pin again, so Kenny Hill might be through, particularly if there's a runner on. Ooh, little sidearm action to the left-hand hitter.
Yeah, that's unfair.
1-2. 28-year-old Mark Langston, the toast of the town in Montreal. Thompson is gone. Of course, this crowd, the biggest one they've had in quite a while, quieted down by the Cardinals with the 1-run lead. But there's no doubt about it, Langston has brought people into the seats here tonight. Langston will face Tony Pena, and Tony is 2 for 2. But then we told you how well Pena has done this season against left-handed pitching. He hits this one high and to left. Range for the 2nd out. And Ken Hill is going to stride to the plate. Langston has had at least 1 strikeout in every inning. So to continue that, he'll have to get Hill with a K, and it's 1 strike. Half a dozen strikeouts for, or I should say 7 strikeouts now for Langston. And of course, he's gotten Hill twice. The count is 1-1. Make it 8 strikeouts. 8 strikeouts for Langston. So he is looking for his 9th. 2 balls and a strike.
We've seen a pitcher go to his mouth as frequently as Langston, almost every pitch.
And he won't get a strikeout in this inning. Foley to Galarraga. Only the second time tonight the Cards have gone in order. On to the bottom of inning 6. The Redbirds lead it 3-2.
The Sheratons in Westport. 2 first-class hotels to make your stay in St. Louis carefree and convenient. Stroll through Westport Plaza, a village of interesting shops. 19 restaurants offer you a wide variety of menus and prices. There's entertainment for everyone, and you can ride the Redbird Express direct to Busch Stadium. It's the best hotel value in St. Louis. Call us toll-free at 1-800-822-3535. There's even free indoor parking, use of a modern health club, free
I wake up, kick out my heels. I wake up, maybe set a spell. I wake up, how about a change of scenery? I cut loose, break the old routine, some laughs for the kids and me. I wake up.
Missouri's Ozark Mountain Country, the Midwest Mountain Playground. Wake up.
Ballpark this summer, and when you're in St. Louis, why not stop by and visit the home of the world's largest brewer, Anheuser-Busch. There are complimentary tours Monday through Saturday, and during the tour you'll see what goes into each and every quality Anheuser-Busch beer. Also, you'll see the home of the world-famous Budweiser Clydesdales. More information about the tours by calling 314-577-2626. 314-577-2626. Charles Bronfman, the owner of the Expos, in attendance here tonight. He's been here for the entire series. He was here Monday night to meet and welcome Mark Langston, and here tonight to watch him. Mike Aldretti has singled and struck out tonight. 3-2, Cards lead, 6th inning. Oquendo. Guerrero, 1 out. Tomorrow, no television here for the wrap-up game of the series. Scott Terry and Kevin Gross. Then the first of 4 at Wrigley on Friday. That'll be a 1:20 game. Again, no television here on our Cardinals network. Jose De Leon and Scott Sanderson. And we'll be back with you at 3 o'clock Saturday. Joe McGrain and Greg Maddox. And then Sunday at 1, Ken Hill and Paul Kilgus. And then the Cards wrap up the road trip next Monday at Wrigley. Scott Terry and Rick Sutcliffe. And then home for 3 with Montreal and 3 with Pittsburgh. Mike Fitzgerald grounding into a double play and striking out. Cardinals with Coleman, Thompson, and Brunanski in the outfield tonight. Pendleton, Smith, Oquendo, and Guerrero the infield. Hill and Pena the battery. Down the line in right, a long way for Brunanski, and he won't get there. And it'll be a ground rule double. Mike Fitzgerald doubles with 1 out here in the 6th inning.
Fitzgerald did the same thing last night, hitting a double down in the corner, and they really bunch him in the outfield so Brunanski can't get near this ball off the bat. Oh, he almost hit that ball when by him, didn't he, Bob?
Yeah, he did. He handles that ball away really well. Yesterday, Brunanski moved over a couple of steps after he hit the one the first time. It seemed like he was back over where he was originally.
Spike Owen with a chance for the Expos to tie it here in the 6th inning. Spike, 15 at-bats against the Cards, only 3 hits, so he hasn't done much to hurt the Cardinals. He's a fellow who has walked more than he has hit safely. He's one of the leading walk getters in the National League. Cards lead 3-2, 6th inning. Hill and Langston have gone all the way. One and one. May not surprise you that the player with the most walks in the league is a fellow by the name of Jack Clark. So he's back, and he's usually right up there.
It's a little bit surprising on the Cardinals. Oquendo leads the Cardinals in walks.
2 and 1. I guess if you looked at the Cardinals and you said, who would you expect to lead the team in walks? You'd either go to a big guy like a Guerrero, or I guess you'd go to a leadoff man like Holden. Those leadoff men are not quite in the 80s what they were in the 50s and 60s, when they tend to be guys like Eddie Yost who like to really draw walks more than anything. Two and two. And interestingly enough, Oquendo, who has walked and scored in this game, has walked 24 times. But Guerrero is right there. He's walked 22 times. So, as you would expect, Guerrero draws a lot of walks also. But Spike Owen and Tim Raines are the 2 Expos who draw the walks. Langston is on deck. Three and 2.
You have to throw a fastball here, Bob?
Well, I would. I don't know what he's going to do. He's not controlling that forkball right now, and you really need to get this guy out so you can have that pitcher come up there.
Owen with a cut at ball 4, and it remains 3 and 2.
See, the problem with not getting this guy out, you get the pitcher out, and you still got 2 outs, and now you got to face that Nixon again, and he's having some problems with Nixon.
DePino and Costello now in the pen behind Ken Hill, who has thrown a lot of pitches tonight, as we pointed out. Cards lead 3-2, 6th inning. And he walks Spike Owen.
Like you try to throw the forkball.
You know, it's all right to have confidence in all of your pitches, but there are certain times where you have to do certain things.
Well, I agree with you, Bob.
I don't think you have to get that cute to get this guy out, do you?
Well, you'd think you wouldn't mind just throwing a fastball up and having him hit a fly ball.
Yeah.
Runners at first and second. 1 out, and thus the conference on the hill with Ken Hill. The batter will be the Expos pitcher, Mark Langston. 5 walks given up by Ken Hill. We go back to that point we made when we all got here on Monday. The Expos are very patient. They draw a lot of walks. De Leon, who won Monday night, gave up 6 walks. This team walks more than any team in the league. Cards expect the bunt, and Langston likes to swing the bat. 1 strike. He's 0 for 2 tonight.
Now, there's another thing I would expect to do, and that is for him to bunt. And why he had him swinging, I guess he's going to trick everybody, huh? We'll see.
It'll make you stop and think. Terry, the quarterback.
Yeah, but as infielders, you're still going to look for the bunt.
Yeah, you got to look for it. Doesn't mean you might not get it down your throat.
Fitzgerald is at second. Owen is at first, and the Cards are looking for the bunt with 1 out and a 1-run Birds lead in the 6th inning. 1-1. And Langston was ready to cut again. They check with Randy Marsh. Langston did check his swing. One and one. 2-1. The Expos got 2 unearned runs in the 3rd inning. The Cards got 1 back in the 4th, then 2 in the 5th to take the lead.
Well, Whitey's coming out to the mound right now. He's seen enough. The count is 2 balls, 1 strike, and he has already made the call for John Costello, who's been brilliant coming out of the pen recently.
Ken Hill leads. John Costello, who picked up his first save of the season here on Monday night, will come on. We'll take a local break. Another 1-run game in Montreal, so don't go away.
It'd be safe to say Jack Nicholson's an outlaw on the run. Well, first his horse kicks the bucket. Then he gets snapped up and saved up from getting strung up.
Then I'll take it.
By getting hitched up.
Get out of here!
Sustain your day. Soon his bad luck is up.
Go!
Well, my time's up, so catch him going south with John Belushi, Mary Steenburgen, and Danny DeVito.
Friday night's 8 o'clock movie on KLJB TV.
I'm worried about JB. All he talks about is cards baseball on KLJB TV.
Let's see what the word association test reveals. Fun? Cards baseball. Action? Cards baseball. Pass. Cards baseball. You're right. He is Cardinals crazy.
What can I do?
Let him watch all the Cardinals baseball on KLJB he wants to.
Well, what about me?
Come on, KL. We have to go home. I think there's a game on KLJB.
The Redbirds travel to Philadelphia to visit the Phillies June 20th at 6:30.
At Olympic Stadium with Al Roboski and Bob Gibson, Ken Wilson, Cards with a 1-run lead, and John Costello, who has been exceptional lately, comes on and will have a 2-1 count that he inherits.
But John has not allowed a base runner his last 7 innings, retiring 21 straight batters, and let's hope that string continues. He had his best velocity in the game Monday night where he picked up his first save of the year.
Fitzgerald at second, Owen at first, 1 out, 2-1 on Langston. Guerrero still in very tight at first, expecting that bunt, or at least aware it could happen. That's a strike, 2-2. Guerrero with a 2-2 count still is 3 strides in front of the base path at first. Cards lead by a run. 2-2. Pete's going to start believing pretty soon, and now he'll back up behind the base path. John Costello trying to work out of trouble. The count now is 3-2 on Langston with 1 out.
Well, gutsy move to send the runners here, wouldn't it, Bob?
I was just thinking that. Yeah, I don't think you want to do that.
Swing and a miss, and Costello comes on and strikes out Langston. 2 down.
Well, John Costello, see him strike out a lot of hitters. Ball has to have a really little bit of hop and movement, and Dave Ricketts is telling me that he's very difficult to catch in the bullpen because the ball moves so much.
And he's a little short arm.
Yeah.
You know, by that you mean that the ball comes out of his shirt, and you really don't pick it up until it's halfway to the plate.
Good point, Bob, because he really decoys well, and then it's almost he pushes the ball right out of his shirt. You don't see it out in the open.
Here is Otis Nixon. And around the world, that will not get anyone's knees shaking. But around the Cardinals dugout, it does. 3-2, Cards lead. Fitzgerald at second, Owen at first, 2 down in the 6th inning. Nixon 2 for 3 tonight. He's been on base 3 times, has stolen twice. And he's in the hole 0-2. $30,214 here tonight. 30214. So they almost doubled their typical crowd with Langston debuting at Olympic Stadium. 2 strikes on Nixon.
Nixon a switch hitter, but his weakest side is the left side, hitting under 200 left-handed.
He's about a 220 hitter, about a 420 hitter against us. He could probably hit with a croquet mallet against the Cardinals. Thompson in center, camping under this one. And Costello comes up and does an admirable job in relief of Ken Hill. On to the 7th inning. 3-2, St. Louis.
It's brewed from the choicest natural ingredients. It's Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. And best of all, it's for you.
You got the taste, this bud's for
I know as a youngster you would like nothing more than to have a Cardinal jersey, and one can be yours on Friday, June 30th. Eagle Snacks, Coca-Cola, and the Cards getting together to bring all of you youngsters paying your way in, and 15 and under, a Cardinal jersey. It'll be the Cards and Padres at 7:35, and there's a look at the jersey. It is a sporty red and white jersey, the Birds on Bat logo, a new design, and this new style jersey is yours at the ballpark Friday, June 30th. Compliments of Eagle Snacks and Coca-Cola. The Expos with the crowd tonight of 30,214. You see the biggest crowd was opening night, over 35,000. And this is the second largest crowd this season. So Langston beginning to pay his way already. Langston, down by a run, will take on Coleman, Smith, and Guerrero here in the 7th.
Big gamble by the Expos to trade 3 young pitching prospects for Mark Langston without signing him.
Big gamble. Coleman has a couple of hits and 3 at-bats and has scored a run.
But one of the things Langston feels that he wants to be on a winner. So if he does get them over the top, could work to their advantage.
You see Vince with an increase in his on-base percentage from last year. He's had a good year. There's no doubt about it. Vince has to be hitting right up around 300 again with his 2 hits tonight. Been among the league leaders most of the season. Two and 1. The Cardinals tonight, 3 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors. They've left half a dozen. The Expos, 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. And a big story for Montreal has been the fact that they have left 8 tonight. Right center field. Otis Nixon with speed to burn. Makes it look easy. 1 out.
With Langston, you look at this Montreal ball club, they have to be considered either one of the top 2 favorites to win the division. If they were to fall out of the sweepstakes early, boy, they would have a great trading chip in Langston if they didn't think they could sign him.
1-0. His value seems to decrease as the season goes on. That was the problem the Mariners had. A high pitch, and Ozzie rockets it into the corner. A 1-0 pitch, and Ozzie gets an extra base hit, and he's at second with 1 out here in the 7th inning. Hit number 6 for the Cardinals.
Well, unlike Montreal, you would not take Langston unless you could sign him. The breaking ball, but it was up, and Ozzie, that arm extension, rips it into the left field corner. Raines had a little trouble with it. You saw him take his eye off, look to see where the runner was, and he didn't catch the ball, but it had double written all over it.
It's on the backside from where it says William White?
Yes, it's a double, extra base hit.
Okay. Andy McGaffigan. I almost said that in stereo.
Right.
Pedro Guerrero will come up for the Cardinals. Pete was up with Ozzie in scoring position in the 1st inning and grounded out. He was up with runners at 1st and 2nd in the 3rd inning and struck out. And he was up with the bases empty in the 5th inning and struck out. And Ozzie's back. Close, but clearly Ozzie was safe.
The base runner can see the second baseman, so it's his responsibility to get back. Can't get a lot of help from your coaches in this case.
Guerrero and Brunanski. Maybe we can get another run here, Al. The lead is slim, 3-2. Ozzie going to 3rd. The throw is not in time, and oh, Wallach is unhappy. Ozzie has his 2nd stolen base tonight, his 9th of the season. Here comes Buck Rogers charging out. The umpire there, Ed Montague.
Well, Montague behind him could not really see where the tag was applied. I think Buck Rogers, having a view from the dugout, could see it a little more accurately. It's a tough play for the 3rd base umpire when he's behind. You be the judge. Ozzie out here, a snap throw, and see if Wallach does. He did. He nailed him.
The throw beat him, and then it was just a question if you blatantly missed the tag, and that certainly didn't happen. He's out. Goodbye.
But you see, the problem is, look where the umpire is. He's moving in there, and he's sort of screened by Wallach's left knee.
Of course, it's tough when you're moving in the first place, which Montague was doing at the exact moment he had to get the best look, and they're going to walk Guerrero. They'll send Guerrero to first base with an intentional pass. The 5th walk given up by Langston tonight.
It's nice to see the Cardinals running. 3 stolen bases tonight.
2 by Ozzie, 1 by Vince. 31 straight, in fact, now by Coleman. He's only 7 shy of the major league record for consecutive stolen bases, so that story begins to grow. Well, Brunanski will come up now. He already has a home run, his 7th of the season. Ozzie at 3rd. Pedro at 1st. Brunanski now 7 homers, 31 RBIs. He's 7 behind the team leader, Guerrero, in the runs batted in department. Strike 1. The Expos have set up the double play possibility here. Two strikes.
There's a changeup. Langston, he has all the pitches. You might see him go to that changeup a little bit more in the late innings. Sign of a good pitcher. He always has something in reserve. needed here.
Langston has fanned 8th, but he hasn't struck out anyone since the 5th inning. This is the 7th. He's got a chance at a K, 0-2. And this one hit shallow to right. Foley after it. Oh, what a catch. Tagging at third is Ozzie. He'll score. Guerrero has to remain at first. And the Cardinals get another run in to lead it 4-2. A sacrifice fly off the bat of Tom Brunanski.
It's a great catch by Foley, but with his back to the infield, it's a piece of cake for Ozzie to come and score and give the Cardinals a 2-run lead. With a great concentration. Of course, this Olympic Stadium, there's no problem with the roof area. Not like the Astrodome, where an infielder can't afford to ever take his eye off the ball in the air. Here, with this orange roof surface, very easy to catch balls in the air.
Ball 1 to Terry Pendleton. Terry has grounded out, flied out, and walked. Terry last night was 1 for 4, 0 for 4 the first night. He says he just doesn't see the ball well here, but he sees it well enough to drop in a hit. Guerrero stops at second base, and Pendleton has a single. The Cardinals' second hit in the inning, and they're 2 on now with 2 outs and a run in. And a 4-2 Cardinal lead in the 7th inning. Buck Rogers thinking to himself, we're supposed to win with Langston pitching. Jose Oquendo, 0 for 2 and a walk. Ball 1.
Some of Langston's breaking pitches, in the early going, it was a strikeout pitch. They were all balls. Now, the pitchers were up in the hitting areas. The Cardinals are being able to put the ball in play. And that's where, in the early going, he was throwing that good hard slider, and it was in the dirt.
Gaffigan is ready in the bullpen. Of course, the folks over 30,000 strong came to see Langston, and they're letting him go. 3-0. And he's tired, no doubt about it. He has walked 5, 1 intentionally, and struck out 8, allowing 4 runs and 7 hits through 6 2/3 innings. 3-1.
I sure wouldn't mind getting a couple more runs in.
Costello in the bottom of the 7th is going to have to wade through some big Expos hitters. Of course, we're 9 outs away yet from a victory, so there's a lot to happen here in Montreal tonight before all is said and done. High fly ball. Tim Raines. And Oquendo's the 3rd out. But the Cards get another run on 2 hits. Cards have left 8. Expos have left 8. And in the middle of the 7th, 4-2 Cardinals.
There's a motor oil that talks about world-class protection. Catchy phrase, but Valvoline is recommended by name in the owner's manuals of these world-class cars. The other motor oil is not. Whatever you drive, Valvoline makes the highest quality motor oil recommended by any car manufacturer. Around the world, people who know use Valvoline.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tom Brazovich. We haven't let fire stop us from treating patients, and you shouldn't let pain stop you from enjoying life. The Brazovich Chiropractic Center can locate your source of pain and treat it effectively to get you back on your feet. Chiropractic care can ease your pain and restore your range of movement. You don't have to live with pain. Call the Brazovich Chiropractic Center at 788-3636. We are now treating regular and new patients at Associated Arts Clinic, 1634 23rd Avenue, across from Whitey's in Moline.
Grandpa, come look what I wrote for your computer.
Oh, hey, that's pretty slick, Jenny. You know, you're as smart as your father. Of course, you both come from good stuff.
Oh, Grandpa.
Well, it's true. He takes after his old man. Like we both buy our clothes at Foreman & Clark.
I know.
Foreman & Clark has a good selection of styles and colors, and the price is right. That's why I always shop there. We're a pretty smart bunch, all right. You know, there's one thing I don't understand.
What's that?
How do you turn that darn thing off?
This program authorized under television rights granted by the St. Louis National Baseball Club Incorporated solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the St. Louis National Baseball Club Incorporated is prohibited. It's the 7th inning. The Expos trail 4-2, and the first pitch from Costello is a strike to Tom Foley. Well, there is Todd Worrell back and on the 24-man roster after pitching an inning and facing only 3 hitters for Louisville last night. Matt Kinzer, if you missed it earlier, optioned to Louisville. 1-1 on Foley. Galarraga and Range to follow.
Well, maybe one of the reasons why Whitey brought in Costello is because he does have the big guy back, Todd Worrell.
Two and one. Two on Foley. One of the big stories tonight has been what Tim Wallach has not done. And Bob Rogers has to shudder at the thought that he's the 4th hitter up in this inning. Foley strikes out for the 2nd time tonight. And man, oh man, Costello has that shoulder strengthened now, and he's back to the Costello we knew last season.
He really is. Look at this fastball, running, hopping, and another strikeout. He struck out 2 out of 3, and now is retired. 8 straight innings, 24 straight batters. He's retired.
He'll face Galarraga here. Galarraga has walked twice and struck out. Ball 1. Of course, Galarraga is a tail in his own right. 2 for 19 against the Cards this season. Boy, if you keep Galarraga, Wallach, and Brooks from doing anything, and that's what the Cardinals have done, you're going to have pretty good success against Montreal. And if the Cards can hold on and win this one, they'll have taken 5 of 7 from the Expos this season. And the first thing Whitey would say about that, yeah, we're going with right-handers now instead of left-handers against them. This one is high up in the orange roof, and Milt Thompson has an eye on it, and that's 2 away. Tim Raines, 2 walks and a 2-run double. The runs for Montreal in the 3rd inning that broke a scoreless tie were unearned. Thus the line on Hill tonight, 5 1/3, 2 runs, unearned, 6 hits. He walked 5, struck out 4. If it stays like this, Ken Hill would be the winner in this game. And Hill could use a win. He is 0-3 in his last 6 starts prior to tonight. Boy, Raines handles the Cardinals nicely, doesn't he? But he does that to a lot of teams. A 2-out single here in the 7th inning. The Expos looking to come back, and they go to the well again with Tim Wallach.
Timmy Raines, just an exceptional hitter. Fastball up, right over the middle of the plate. See his weight shift, everything nice and fluid, no extra wasted motion. Guerrero playing
Guerrero.
with.
Tim Wallach comes up. He has stranded 6. That includes the 2 left in the first when he hit into a double play with the bases loaded. 1 strike. He has come up with men everywhere. But he's 0 for 3. And against the Cardinals, 3 for 25 this season. You can't buy a hit against Whitey's club. Cards lead 4-2. There goes Raines, swing and a miss. Raines had a huge jump. Tim Raines has his 13th stolen base. And tonight, the Expos have stolen 3. They have 67.
Well, Costello just totally forgot about the base runner. That's okay. You got 2 outs, and you get the hitter out. Pena didn't really have much of a chance at all. Throw was a little bit high into the first base side, but Range clearly hit under the throw.
2 strikes on Wallach. Boy, Otis Nixon and Tim Raines have been the Expos offense tonight. 1 and 2. And they were very much so on Monday night when the Cardinals won 5-4. Last night, Hudler had a 2-run homer in the first, and that was the big blow offensively. And Raines did not start last night's game. 2 and 2.
That running fastball that goes up and in from Costello is a real good pitch against a hitter like Wallach. Like Galarraga, he dives into the pitch. Nice to get his arms extended. Nice to lift low balls.
Costello facing a home run hitter in Wallach, and he rarely allows home runs. 2 and 2. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. In fact, Costello, in the 14 1/3 innings he's worked this season, has not allowed a home run. And last year, his first year in the big leagues, he pitched 50 innings and gave up only 3 home runs.
And those were all 3 on the road.
What a find he's been. A 25th round draft pick 6 years ago. John Costello out of a little college, Mercyhurst College in Pennsylvania. Three and 2.
All right, Johnny, nice and easy. Tried to overthrow that last pitch a little bit. That's when the ball was straightened out. Pena going to come out and just kind of make a little reminder.
Hits are even, 7 aside. Cardinals lead 4-2. Brunanski with a pair of RBIs. Ozzie Smith and Tony Pena have the others. Tim Raines, who's at second base, has the 2 RBIs for Montreal. And the bullpen busy, DePino and Quisenberry.
Marty's got a decision to make. Aldretti is the on deck here if Costello was to lose Wallach.
3 and 2. Center field. Wallach will leave his 7th base runner tonight, going 0 for 4. The Expos have left 9, and after 7, 4-2 Cardinals.
An important message for you, Minikey. I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler. You fool.
See, good news. I predict I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler.
Don't worry. At Meineke, you get quality Everlast mufflers from just $18.93 installed.
This is what I've been saying, you idiot. What? I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler. Bit better.
You're not going to pay a lot for quality at Meineke.
Ford has just announced up to $750 cash back on the world's best-selling car, Ford Escort. That's right. For a limited time only, you can get up to $750 cash back from Ford and save over $700 in options. That's a total savings of over $1,400, and that's before you make your best deal. This $750 cash back offer won't last long, so hurry into your Ford dealer and get $750 cash back or 2.9% financing on Escort. But don't wait. It all ends soon.
Have you heard what Cheerios has been up to?
Heard about a new Cheerio?
Listen.
Listen to the sound of a whole new world. New apple cinnamon Cheerios.
New apple cinnamon Cheerios is real apples, whole grain oats, and cinnamon. And it tastes as great as it sounds.
Listen to the sound of a whole new world.
Listen.
Many community nights this season at the ballpark, including Friday, June 30th, when the Cards play the Padres at 7:35. It is Citicorp Mortgage Incorporated night and St. Anthony's Medical Center night. And Wednesday, August 16th, the Cards and Braves. It'll be Famous Bar Father's Day special night. And the reason it's important now is because for ticket information for that August 16th game, you must visit the menswear department at any Famous Bar store between June 12th and the 18th. So right before Father's Day at the menswear department at any Famous Bar store, find out about the Famous Bar Father's Day special at the ballpark August 16th. New pitcher is Andy McGaffigan.
Well, we've seen McGaffigan the last couple nights. It'll be his 25th game. He has 1 win, 2 losses. Did pitch a little bit, so he follows Mark Langston, who worked the first 7.
First pitch, a strike to Milt Thompson. Langston gives up 4 runs, 7 hits in 7 innings, walks 5, and strikes out 8. And drew 30,214. Right center field between Nixon and Aldretti, and Otis Nixon there for the catch, 1 out. McGaffigan, a Floridian, a product of Florida Southern University.
From the West Palm Beach area where the Expos train.
And he faces Tony Pena, 2 for 3 tonight. Cards looking for a win that would put them 2 games under 500 and back to within 5 of the division leading Cubs. The Cubs lost at home today to the Mets. Up the middle, another base hit, and Pena has 3 hits in this game, 3 of the Cardinals' 8.
Well, that's good to see Tony swinging the bat again. Of course, he did tell us that he's been really fighting it. First ball, fastball hitting. But notice there, on that pitch there, good controlled swing, hit the ball up the middle. And we didn't see him pull off the ball, which we've been seeing, and losing that helmet, swinging too hard.
Here's John Costello, not only playing in a foreign country, but in a foreign spot, the batter's box. Down 0 for 1 as the hitter. He bunts the ball, and it goes foul. Cards lead at 4-2 here in the 8th. In his big league career, John is 0 for 5, striking out 3 times.
There you go, bringing up the negative.
Just reading the graphic. I'm just setting him up to get 2 strikes and then get a big double to get us an insurance run. It's a better story that way. His first big league hit.
Okay.
See, everything works. They expect the bunt. Galarraga will go to Foley, covering at first. The sacrifice moves Pena to second base. And it'll give Coleman a chance to pick up his 12th RBI.
Looks hadn't had an RBI in quite a while, has he?
Not many. Big night tonight, 2 for 4, up to 297. Coleman's last RBI was against the Astros on May 29th. Over a week ago. One ball, no strikes on Coleman. Now 1-1 on Vince. Vince trying to make it 5-2. He's had 1 RBI in the last 2.5 weeks. He's a leadoff guy. He's actually really had a pretty good average with men in scoring position, and done a good job for a leadoff man in this kind of spot. 2-1. And maybe he can come through here, bring Pena in. 2 outs, Tony at second in the 8th.
He's doing his job by putting the pitcher defensively, pitching behind in the count.
There goes Raines into the corner in foul ground, and he makes the catch. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 4-2 Cardinals.
Budweiser and Bud Light are joining USA Today so you can vote for the All-Stars. Pick up an official All-Star fan ballot free wherever you buy Bud and Bud Light. Then enter the All-Star Pick-a-Pair Trivia Sweepstakes. Answers appear every day in USA Today, your #1 source for sports coverage. So look for this display and vote.
Warning. The following message may stimulate an irresistible desire to take a pleasure trip. You now have a craving for fun, so send for the St. Louis Sampler. Call 1-800-247-9791. The St. Louis Sampler. It's free. And until you can get here, it'll just have to do.
Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Two and two to Dale Murphy. Fouled it off.
Now get some sleep.
I can't.
Try counting home runs. A message from Major League Baseball.
Folks, why not plan on bringing your youngsters to the ballpark Sunday, July 2nd for a 1:15 game with the Padres. It's Kenner's starting lineup figure day. All youngsters 15 and under with a paid admission will receive an action figure of one of their favorite Cardinal players. This item has a retail value of over $5. So be sure and come early to the game July 2nd and get your youngsters a starting lineup figurine courtesy of Kenner. This crowd is reacting to the announcement on the scoreboard in center field. Boy, and they are excited. And the announcement is just